Y'all ever been in love with somebody so much that all you want to see is them do good and see them do better, but unfortunately, they're just not in a place of accepting that and being that person? What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom. So unfortunately, your girl been going through some things in the last month and a half. And at this point, I'm tired of being played with on the internet. Like, why you playing with me though? Now y'all know me. Y'all seen my platform. I have grown my platform. I have grown just overall as a woman, as a mother. And I don't even get on any type of social media on no beef type stuff. I never do. Number one, I ain't right in the head. Number two, I'm a mom. So I have decided, like, that fast life stuff that I used to do, I gotta gaslight that. I gotta change that, pump the brakes on that, because at the end of the day, I have little people that are looking up to me. And more importantly, my daughter, I've asked for her for years. I've talked about having a little girl for years. So for me, I have to be the best that I can be. But before she gets here, I just got to let y'all in on something, because this girl got me really messed up. And what's crazy is you're steady coming for me and bothering me on social media, knowing doggone well, number one, my Facebook and my Instagram is deactivated. Been deactivated for some time now. But then number two, I'm 8 months pregnant. So what does that really say about you? But it gets better. It's a whole lot to say about her, but we gonna get there. And I'm gonna keep it totally 100. At the end of the day, she's not the total blame, because you're only going to do what you're allowed to do. So as long as he's sitting there gaslighting you, letting you think that that's okay, that's exactly what you're going to do. But when you're young and dumb, you take it to a whole nother level. So unfortunately, my daughter's father, my ex, I don't even know what to call him at this point. I guess we broke up, or whatever the case may be, has been living a double life since March. And it's kind of mind boggling. And I'm not going to lie, my feelings was hurt, y'all. Not to say that they're not hurt still, but at the end of the day, as a mother, I have a job to do. So yes, I'm in my feelings. Yes, I'm hurt. But at the end of the day, that was a choice. And I just don't understand why, if you made your choice, number one, why is your girlfriend so intimidated, or a side bitch? She could never be a girlfriend, so we'll start there. Why is the side bitch coming for me? Number one, as your child's mother. Number two, and I ain't said nothing to this girl, you're intimidated by me for what? You're constantly making stories on Instagram and Facebook. For what? You don't want this man to come to no doctor's appointments. You don't want this man to be around me for a split second. Why? I don't understand if you're so secure in y'all relationship. But you want to know why? It's because you was the side girl. And the same way you get your man is the same way you lose him.
Yeah, I can tell I'm already gonna like this story time. I can already tell based off how she delivering this. Welcome back to the channel, Messy Family. As y'all can see, we have a long one, and I'm actually salted. I'm actually tired. So if y'all see me chewing, I'm chewing this damn narrow gum. Okay, this is not a sponsored video. I'm just telling y'all why the fuck I'm about to be chewing so damn hard, because we've been recording like nonstop, trying to keep up with this pace we've been having for you all. So here's another one, right? All right, now I be trying to run from these long ones sometimes because dang. But if y'all can stick through them, why can't we? We'll stick through them for y'all. As long as y'all making it to the end, we'll do it. But if I find out y'all ass ain't making it to the end of these videos, motherfucker, we going back down to the hours. But anyways, welcome back to the channel.
Welcome back.
But let's get into the story time. You got anything you want to say before we get into this long
It
saga?
sounds like she dropping some gems in the beginning. All right.
Yeah, we about to be learning some stuff. I like how she think already.
So since everybody wanted to play with Maya and she want to keep putting all this stuff on the internet, and oh, I got the man and he's mine forever and all of this nonsense. Fine, sweetie. If that's what you think, if that's what you're feeling, by all means, pop your shit, do your thing. But now I'm finna tell everything. So welcome to Pregnant by a Man, Living a Double Life. And yes, the man is my baby daddy. Now let me just give a quick disclaimer, because before y'all get in my comments like, oh, this sound like some bitter stuff and blah, 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 blah. Never have I been bitter. It's always been the problem with the man. I've never addressed this young lady at all, because again, the problem is with the man. However, the intimidation has never been about no female, especially a female that is nowhere near on my level. And when I say nowhere near, y'all, Nowhere near. Like, not even an inkling. So, let's be clear before we even get into all of that. Because I promise you, you say something stupid in my comments, I'm definitely clapping back. Because this is not even one of them situations. But I'm definitely going to drop the tea since everybody wants to know and you want to put it out there and you want so much clout. Let's go. Part 1 of Pregnant by a Man Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom, so let's get right into it. We're going to start from the beginning. So I met him on the 4th of July. I went to a little house event with one of my coworkers who I ended up finding out was more like family. But that's neither here nor there. So he invited myself and one of my good friends. We went over and we enjoy, some cars, some drinking. We enjoying ourselves. It's Cinco de Mayo. Y'all know how black people is on Cinco de Mayo. We feel like, this our holiday. Y'all know. So everybody is just kind of enjoying themselves. Everybody's vibing. Now, when we pulled up, me and my friend, I did see him on the porch. I was like, okay, he's handsome, but I wasn't like scoping no scene out, like looking for nobody. But I did see him on the porch. So went in, everybody's playing cards, they're drinking. So he comes up to me and he's like, hey, you want to be my partner? So I'm like, sure, okay, whatever. He was like, okay, now when we get on this table, we not going to lose. We not getting up. So I'm like, okay, I like the sound of that. I'm competitive. I'm a Virgo. So again, not knowing anything about him, we get on the table. Y'all, when I tell y'all we kicked ass on that table, we was kicking ass on that table. It's something about them fellas that go to jail, baby. When they get the shuffling and doing whatever they do with them cards, baby, I'm trying to tell you, we did not get off the table. We literally won every game. Everybody that sat down, we was getting their ass up. What they say, next. So, night goes well. Everybody, is kicking it. We saying our goodbyes. So, he walks me to the car. He gives me his phone number. I did not text him immediately. I told him my name, text him my name, and that was it. He texted me maybe, I think, that evening or the next day. I didn't respond. And I think he might have texted me one other time, but he didn't sweat me or nothing. Like, it was literally maybe 1 or 2 times. And then he was just like, okay, maybe she ain't interested. Maybe this girl don't like me. So I worked with his brother. So his brother's like, man, my brother said he don't think you like him or whatever. And I'm like, no, that's not it. For me, I had some decisions that I had to make because I still had other things going on. So fast forward, I finally do text him. Now, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I am a brat. I'm spoiled, and I will be the first to admit that. I'm one of them women that, like, I want what I want when I want it, if that makes sense. Like, so when I text him, essentially his brother had a date with someone else. And so I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to have a date too. So I don't know what his situation was. We didn't really discuss it. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm finna text him and see, what he's doing. So he ended up coming outside. We end up all going on a date. And it was good. Like, when I say the date was really, really good, we went bowling, we had drinks, and when I say y'all, he was a super gentleman, like a super gentleman. He was holding on my doors, holding my hand, making sure, like I was, tripping on nothing, stepping over nothing. And we went bowling, so he was literally getting my bowling ball for me, bringing it to me, or helping me with my ball, because y'all see my hands, they little as fuck. But he was literally the perfect gentleman. So I'm like, okay, I like him. He has a sweet, sweet personality. Even as we was talking, even when, like we were interacting with one another, it was never like seclusive. It was all real intimate. So I was like, okay, it's flowing. I'm liking this, and this was a date that I was like, oh, this is a nice date. You have them dates and you like, I'm contemplating on this. Okay, you did your thing. So we are done bowling. We done drinking. We just walking towards the car. Now I drove. Everybody kind of drove me. I have a truck. So we're walking towards the car. He and I are just talking, kind of just getting to know each other. And he flat out asked me, like, what do you have going on? And I was honest, y'all. I let him know. I said, look, I'm still legally married. I'm in the middle of a divorce. I'm in the middle of a divorce of, it's kind of nasty. I'm not even gonna say it's nasty. It's just one of them things where when people, it was too much going on. So I essentially I let you know from the jump. Yes, I'm still legally married. I'm going through a divorce, but we are separated. We've been separated. Da 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 da. I'm not planning on going back to him. He seems like he's dating. So at this point, I did put it out there. I also let him know that I was talking to a truck driver. Now, I was talking to this gentleman, but we were not being intimate. He would come to my house in between him, like driving to different stops. But the reason me and him are not talking is literally because he didn't have time for me. So again, I put those things on the forefront. I definitely let them be known. I did not hide them. So, he begins to tell me, I don't have anything going on. I'm single, so on and so forth. He was like, I'm getting out of this situation. I still have stuff at this young lady's house or whatever, but I just want to get my stuff and not been staying with my brother. I'm over here trying to get my things together. Totally understandable. I don't have no heaven or hell to put nobody in. So who am I to judge on your situation when I clearly have things going on? So I was cool. I didn't have no issue with whatever situation he had. I didn't ask about it because, again, I'm not that woman. Like, if I'm going to deal with you, I'm going to deal with you. So whatever you got going on, if you got it under control, I'm going to get mine under control, and we're not going to bring that type of drama to one another. So we move forward and we start to like date. Like we are starting to really date. Like we're seeing each other on the regular. We're talking to each other on the regular. And we used to do this thing where like I had an idea. I'm like, look, I feel like I didn't do things necessarily right in my last relationships as far as like getting to know the person. So I want to really get to know you and know your likes, your dislikes, what turns you on, what don't turn you on, what you like to eat, what you don't like to eat. You're always going to learn your spouse. And my grandmother told me that a long time ago. She was like, girl, you're going to forever be learning your spouse. So it's always good to continue to ask questions. People change. So we did this thing where when we were separated, we would ask each other 5 questions. So I would ask him 5 questions. He would answer them. I would answer them. Then he would give me get a chance to ask me 5 questions. I would answer them. And when I say it was nothing off limits, y'all, it was nothing off limits. But what I will say, I do think that made us very, very close and really like knowing about each other, because we learn so much just in a day and asking those questions. You figure you ask a person 20 questions in a day, that's 40 questions total. That's a lot.
You know why I kind of agree, but at the same time disagree with this? It's
Why?
because I think it takes a long time. You continue to learn your partner a lot because you have to learn to like look at what they actually do. People say a lot of great things. You could ask him 100 questions, he probably answered 10 of them correctly. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like so over time, you say people change. Is that he never was that? They never was that way intentionally. Who you truly are will show over time. That's why you really don't. You see people moving in together, and they can date for years. As soon as they get together, y'all all probably know somebody like this. They get together, live together, have kids, and now they separated. They can't do it no more. They just spent all these years together. So it's like that's just my take on that. I feel like that's
I,
the reason.
I honestly feel like though, with the whole changing situation, that person that you're with before you have a kid and after you have a kid, it changes. Whether it's because of parenting views or, just a whole different circumstance. That free
Yeah,
time you guys had, now you gotta learn how to now have it with a
coexist
kid.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like now have these different circumstances. When it was just you and him, you don't got to worry about X, Y, and Z. You just like in the beginning, you just said you guys have all this stuff going on, but as long as it's under control, it doesn't matter. But yet, you guys still have other stuff going on. But then when you're bringing it together in a home together, now it's like I have to see it. I have to peep what's going on.
but
But
I
I
think
do, I do love that they're very transparent in the beginning
yeah,
because a lot of people do lie, and the fact that
mm,
they both say, I got this going on, I got that going on, and if you want to move forward, let's do it. That was super mature, and I love that she also learned from her past relationship, and that's why she's trying to learn her man more.
yeah.
People always try to hate on the past relationships, but you're actually learning something, whether it's what to do in the next one or what not to do.
Right, right. Just know most of the times when you ask all these questions, I mean, I think it's good to start off that way, but just know it's you still gotta watch to see if they truly are the people they are. But it's good if they are starting off with that type of communication. Though I 100% agree with her on that for sure.
You learn a lot, especially if you being honest and transparent. I know I was. I'll say that. So things are going good. We're communicating. We're really like talking, getting to know each other. And again, he has been to prison. So he has a lot, of stories. And when I say stories, just like a lot of things that has happened to him. And, jail is not easy for anybody. So I'm just looking at it as you did your time, you made it out, and you made it out alive. It's a lot of people that don't make it out alive. It's a lot of people who go through jail and don't make it there, let alone alive, out, and, getting a second chance at life. So that's how I'm looking at it. I'm not looking at it from no negative place at all. So I am familiar with some of the justice system, but I'm not familiar with everything. So he's explaining to me that he's on parole and, he has to do these mandatory classes. I want to say it was like substance abuse. It was like counseling and some more stuff. So in my head, I'm like, I don't want to see him, not get that stuff done. He's adamant about, changing his life and doing these things the right way. So I tell him, my car is sitting when I'm at work. You're more than welcome to use my car so that you can go and do it. And get whatever it is that you need to get done. So he's like, for real, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I don't mind, again, my car is sitting when I'm at work. So at the end of the day, I call myself being helpful. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Just don't have me waiting on my car. When I get off work, I expect you to be here. Other than that, we don't have no problems. I'll, come in the morning when I'm done dropping my boys off. I could just come to you. You swing me to work and you going on about your business. So that was literally my whole intention with this man, to literally be nothing but of service, of help, of love. When I love hard. And when I see, somebody trying, that was what attracted me most to him, is like he want to do right. He really do. Part 2 of Pregnant by a Man Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom, so let's get right into part 2. So he go ahead, he take care of everything he have to take care of. And at this point, like, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm feeling him. I'm feeling like he's feeling me. I feel like, we got this thing going on. So at this point, he's kind of like dropping me off at work. I'm coming to see him before work. And, it's the beginning. It's that puppy love. It's like, oh, I missed you. I missed you from yesterday. So, I'm going to go see him before work. And, we just kind of talking and casually, like, really like enjoying each other's company, even though like it's before work, even during my lunch, he's like kind of coming up there on my lunchtime. And then, after work, I'm seeing him for a little while. And then, I'm getting my kids together or whatever. And, like we're actually enjoying one another, like enjoying each other's time. So I'm really like, okay, I really like this man. So things are going good. We moving forward. So fast forward, we become intimate. And so I'm like, okay, sex is good. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. So we just intimate, we're kind of like, now you really like are into it. But again, there's no relationship title. We're just dating, so yes, I did let me see what it's like, before. I did, and I wanted to see what it was like, and it was everything I thought it was gonna be. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So now that we have gotten that out the way, we loving on, each other in that way. And so one morning, we get up or whatever, and he brings something up to me that he saw in my phone. So immediately I'm like, why did you go through my phone? But at the same time, I'm like, if I really want this thing to work with him, and I'm saying I'm, serious, I did kind of feel a little way like, damn, okay, like he went through my phone. I wouldn't have picked up his phone. But at the same time, I'm a Virgo. He's a Virgo. So I know how Virgos get down. They need clarity. So in a way, like, it was like, you care that much? You going through my phone? But at the same,
I knew I liked her. Bro, I'm like, bro, it's something about this woman. Man. She just reminds me of my sister. My sister's a Virgo. I'm a Virgo. Sahani's a Virgo. We all Virgos. I cannot wait to hear the rest of this fuck.
time, I'm like, you went through my phone. You know what I'm saying? So we have a discussion about it. I was kind of pondering on it. I felt a little bad. And then, me and him kind of talked through it. And he was like, I just brought it up because I was trying to see, but at the end of the day, I'm not tripping about it. I'm going to leave it alone. What was done was done. And so immediately with that person, I just cut ties. I'm just like, if I really like this dude and I want him to take me serious, I got to do some things to make sure I take him serious too. So yes, I went ahead and cut ties with dude. I just was like, this is not what it is or whatever no more. And I let it go, and I let that be that. So now fast forward, we go to a couple of family events together. We then went on this all white boat party, and we dressed alike. I'm like, "Ooh, babe, come on, let's go get you something nice." We went, I think, to H&M and just grabbed him like a nice little graphic tee that was white, some pants. White is really not good with me, and so they was not like white. But we went ahead and got, excuse me, some stuff for him, and we was ready. Like, we went to the party and it was amazing. Like, I had a great night. We saw the fireworks, we took pictures, just videos. It was just so much. I was just like, oh my goodness. And when I say y'all, he took care of me the whole night. I had my flats, he held my flats the whole time. When it was time to change my heels from in my heels to my flats, he was just there, like, from taking me to the bathroom, just making sure he was there. And that's something that I've never experienced in a man, So for me, I was all about time and genuine love in this relationship. When I came into this, that was all it was. You can hustle and get money with anybody. You can, be that financial person to people if you have that financial literacy and discipline. But genuine love and purity and somebody that genuinely cares and wants to see you grow, not only physically, but emotionally, financially, at all levels, you don't find that. And that's what I was willing to give. So when I was willing to give it, of course, that's what I was expecting back. Especially from somebody that's the same sign as me. Like, this is why I'm so disappointed. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. So moving forward, we're continuing to be intimate. We still, doing everything that we've been doing, seeing each other, texting, talking. And so me and him have a conversation. And I'm an early bird. So he was getting up early with me all the time, y'all. I was waking him up super early. And we had a conversation. He was like, I want to kind of see you more. Like, I want to see you on a regular. I don't like us kind of separating. And I'm not going to lie. Like, when you fall in love with somebody or you feel like this is your person, you do feel like that. Like, you don't want to be apart from them that long. Like, you go through that phase. And so I'm like, yeah, I kind of feel the same way. And so at this point, it's early June. And I'm like, okay, by my birthday, which is August 30th, if, you're doing what you're supposed to do, you have things together that, we've talked about, then yes, me and you could talk about us possibly, having a more serious situation where maybe we are staying together or you're spending the night or, with me or things like that. But right now, let's just kind of work on this. So again, he is like blowing me away, y'all, when I say loving on me, just making me feel super, super special. Making sure that I'm just super, super secured in what we have going on. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I think I want to break this whole like agreement for my birthday because I'm like, I don't want to wait. Like, I kind of want him here with me. I want him, I want him, you start to really crave this person. And that's kind of where I was. I was like, oh, I don't want to be without him. I'm loving how I'm feeling. I'm loving how he's feeling. All of this is like a dream come true for me.
I'm happy for her at this point where she's, you're in love, but it's like he has so much stuff going on. He's living with his brother. He's doing these classes. He doesn't have a car. And it's like, you have all the answers to his problems. I mean, call me pessimistic, but it's like, it seems like it's a bit of a rush that he wants to, keep pressing it. Like, like, let's really get serious. Let's move in together. I want to see you all the time. But it's like,
Right.
all of this is benefiting you. And as a Virgo, you got a genuine heart. So you want to see the best in people 100%. But it's like, I think that's like the fault in us. We want to see the best in people, but it's like, we have to see it for what it is. And I really hope he wasn't just using her for everything that she was offering because she was doing it out of generosity. But the fact that he was living a double life, I feel like we're about to find out that was the case. But
he must be a September Virgo. Yeah, see, we August Virgos. So I get her. We get it. August 31st, August 27th, August 30th. Boom. August Virgos must be different.
Feel like, okay, God, I might have found my person. Like, you did your thing with this one. Thank you. Type of thing. So y'all know I broke it. I broke it, y'all. I broke it. I don't regret that I broke it, but I definitely broke it. And I felt so good about it. Like, I was just like, okay, finally. So I had a conversation with my boys before, he came. Now, the one thing I will say that was my mistake, what I should have done is made sure that the guy that I was talking to, who was the truck driver, had come and got all his stuff. Even though it was like little stuff and it was in the garage, it wasn't like in the household. He had to get the stuff from the garage when he did come get it. But what I should have done is when I knew that I was going to allow him to come stay, here with us, that I made sure he got that stuff out. So that was on me. But again, I made it known that, that situation was there. But neither here nor there. I'm a woman before I'm anything. I should have done that. So my kids are like, yeah, Ma, if you like him and you really feel like he's cool, I'm telling them about him. And my oldest son is like, Ma, you like him, you smiling. And, my oldest son, he think he my nigga. He think he my boy. However, they were excited. They like, do he play the game? Do he do this? And I'm like, yeah, he played the game. So now they have something to look forward to as well. So he comes, but again, there is no title, y'all. There's still no title. We're still just dating. It's no title. However, we have a conversation in the bed. We talking, and we have good conversation, great conversation. And we're talking in the bed, and he was like, yeah, you my girl. And I was like, nah, I'm not. I said I made that mistake before of just allowing a relationship to just flow into something and it just be what it's going to be. You're going to ask me. And he sat right there in that bed and looked up and asked me, like, would you be my girlfriend? And y'all know I said yeah. So at this point, we are in a relationship. He and I are a thing. It is Maya. It is him. We are in a relationship. That is my man. I am loving every bit of it. We got an anniversary, and now it's like, oh my goodness, I'm back in a relationship and I'm feeling like, okay, I got it right this time. Like, he's my twin. Like, we locked in. This my boy, because literally, like, he finishing my sentences, I'm finishing his sentences. Before I could really get something out, he already, kind of answering it. We was here, y'all. We was here. Part 3 of Pregnant by a Man, Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom, and we are back with part 3. So at this point, y'all, I am like overjoyed. I am just loving life. This is my man. I done broke this, little commitment that we had. So now we are like together. He's here with me pretty much every day at home. I'm waking up to him. I'm going to bed to him. And again, we are just really locked in. When I say like this, my boy, we enjoying, we going on dates. And if you want to reference these dates, you could go on my YouTube, The Maya Dominique. I have literally about 2 or 3 dates on there that I vlogged with him. We did picnics. We were out, just enjoying one another. It's now the summer and all the holidays are coming up. So like we are really having a good time. We are vibing. We doing things. He's doing his all the stuff he needs to do for parole to try to make sure he's done with parole. And then I was slowly transitioning into being a full-blown content creator. I was pretty much at my last weeks of work because I was no longer working at that job come July 1st. This is what I mean when I say I was happy, y'all. Like, me and this man were locked in the whole summer. We were enjoying one another. This is something that I had never done, actually dating. Like, we would go on dates just about every weekend. He would choose one, I would choose one, and ain't no use to hiding his face because he's my child's father, number one. So when y'all see my daughter, y'all gonna see his whole face. And number two, he been over my TikTok, well, on my TikTok, I should say, shit, most of my pregnancy. So y'all know who he is. We like, this was my baby. We was happy.
Not gonna lie, that's not very Virgo like. That's why I think girl Virgos and male Virgos are different. I would have set that shit on fire.
I will say this.
What?
You know when somebody has finally let go, when they don't have no more photos of you. They don't have no memories, nothing to remind you. But she's still pregnant with his child, so who's to say, they don't get back together? I get it completely. The baby's not even here yet. So he could change 100% as soon as the baby comes out. Some people, it's the opposite. They get worse, but some people actually get better and they step up and they say, you know what? I want my family back. So I get it. I get you got photos, but you can't be like, trying to say the girlfriend, Papa her shit. but you got photos of him.
Right,
And he's still on your YouTube.
Right.
You kind of lost me with that one, but I ain't gonna say too much.
Yeah.
Because why do you just have it laid out?
Yeah.
And just because your baby gonna have a space, the baby ain't even here. How you know that?
It's her first child. It's her first. No, it's her second child.
No, this is her first daughter. She has boys.
Come on now. Come on. You know you dripping with
Which
that
is
one.
so funny because
It's okay. Take your time.
this
Take
so
your
funny
time. I guess he truly couldn't have pissed you off that bad. I mean, or you just really very understanding. But that collage would have never been a thing.
And the way she just placed it all perfectly, like,
right. Like look how much we believed you loved him. You ain't have to show us. Now the girl.
Then you talk about that the D was good, like, girl.
Did he move on to another woman yet?
Yeah, that's the problem. The girlfriend, she was saying like the girlfriend popped for her shit, and that this ain't about being a better baby mama.
She glued some shit together. Like I just know that better had happened during the relationship. I'm trying to figure out when did you have time? When was it ever appropriate for that to happen? Like if that happened after the relationship, just don't tell us. Please don't tell us. I'm assuming that was before, and you just haven't found the strength to throw it away yet. But throw that shit away if he cheated on you. Double life, throw that shit away.
So we kicking it all summer. We just enjoying one another. We are dating. We are really enjoying ourselves. My kids are loving him be here. Like it is feeling like a dream come true, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I was just like, oh my goodness. Thank you. Like I was really, really happy. So again, I'm very honest, very transparent. However, I did mess up. And when I say I messed up, I call myself trying to handle it a different way, knowing how my ex was, and it backfired. It did not go like he took it to a whole nother level. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. So me and my daughter's father, we are at the club one day. It's me, it's two of my friends, his brother, and we're all at the club. And I happen to see my ex's sister. And so I'm like, okay, so I automatically knew. Now, me and him have been kind of cordial. I had kind of been able to keep him on like a straight and narrow, like, okay, we cordial, we in this place. And the sister immediately texts him like, oh, she's in the club with him. So as I'm leaving, I'm already knowing that the sister texts him. But I spoke to the sister. She didn't say anything to me. Strike one on some, straight messy shit. So again, the sister goes and says something to him. And of course, by the time he and I get home, I'm getting a phone call, a FaceTime at like 1:32 in the morning. I'm kind of like drunk and falling asleep. He's still up. He sees that the call is from my ex and he's going off. Rightfully so. He has the rights to be upset. I'm not saying that he didn't. So from that day forward, it was what it was. All bets was off. I was just willing to give up whatever because I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to hurt nobody. I've been in the situation of being hurt and I don't want to be on that other side. I don't. I don't want to be the person inflicting pain on somebody. So I just refuse to do it. And again, I'm pretty well off and well established. So at this point, I'm just like, okay, whatever I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose. If it's the other car, I'm going to lose the other car. I'm not going to lose my house, and I'm not finna lose no sleep over nobody who, again, I'm separated from. It is what it is. You're happy with your situation. I'm happy with my situation. We ain't even finna do this. So I apologized to him. I let him know, like, babe, I thought I had it handled and I did not handle it the right way. I don't want you to think that I'm trying to hurt you or be, manipulative in any of this. Cut him right off. Like nothing. Like no comment or nothing. Nothing, y'all. Nothing. He just was curtains at that point. So fast forward to August, my birthday comes, and I'm just like, ooh, I'm excited or whatever. My sister took me out pretty much the whole day while he handled other stuff that he was trying to do for me. Y'all, he gave me this beautiful bouquet, like money bouquet for my birthday. We end up going to dinner. We all was drunk and just really enjoying ourselves. When I say we had a ball, he was so supportive of like all my content. He's helping me with my content. My birthday vlog is just, you could see even in my birthday vlog that I was super, super comfortable and just loving on the fact that he was loving on me. We was loving on each other. It was so, so good. I was so happy. Even though this wasn't a year for my birthday that I felt like I did everything I wanted to do. But because I was secured in this relationship and felt like, you know what? If I didn't have anything, I had somebody that loved me in my corner outside of my family. That was good for me. When you are a person that come from getting treated like shit from people and just you're always the person that's giving and always the person that's refilling somebody else's cup, it felt good to have somebody that was pouring into mine. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Now, I told y'all we both Virgos. So my birthday is in August. So my birthday just passed. And in 2 weeks is his birthday. So for his birthday, I was like, I want to do something really, really special. He's turning 31. I want to do something special because he was in jail for his 30th. So let me try to think. So I immediately get to texting his brother like, hey, I want to do this for him, da 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 da, so on and so forth. His brother like, yeah, let's do it. So his brother is literally helping me with everything. And when I say everything, y'all, everything, like getting down to the guest list, his like the colors, the theme, all of this. So everybody knows I'm an influencer for Amazon. So I end up getting a bunch of like nice blue happy birthday stuff. I made a vlog. Y'all can feel free to go watch that too. And I decorated my whole basement. And when I say y'all, I snapped. Like I went above and beyond. I cooked and everything. And I literally laid it out for him like his favorite foods and all. Again, this was a surprise. So he knew nothing about none of this. He woke up on his birthday morning, had a tray full of just fruit and red velvet pancakes. Like I did it big for him because I felt like he missed his 30th. So let me show up and show out for him because this my man. Like that's how I'm thinking. I swear, I was just on cloud nine for this man. I ain't gonna lie. Part 4 of Pregnant by a Man Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom, and we are back with part 4. So his birthday has passed. He really enjoyed his birthday. His family and friends, all came out. It was a great day. He and I had a conversation, after his birthday. He's like, man, nobody ever did that for me. Kind of just, like, thank you for like really supporting me and being just a support to me. And again, that's the type of person I am. I'm not going to change my heart because there are people out here in the world that are just ignorant or looking for other things. My heart is pure and is genuine. And no matter how I got done in the situation, my heart was still going to be the same. So I do this thing on my birthday or around my birthday where I go ahead and write all my goals for the year. I don't wait till New Year's to do it. I do mine around my birthday because I feel like every new year and every new chapter of my life is when I need to ensure that I'm hitting the goals, hitting the targets that I need to hit. So that's what I do. So he went in my office one day and was like, hey, I really like your vision boards. I want to do those. I want to do one of those. So I'm like, yeah, we could do it. I'm like, but maybe we could sit down, within the next couple of days and just kind of get goals out, so you can see it and physically, no, okay, this is what I want to get done. This is what I want to do. So I say maybe a week goes past and he's like, hey, let's go ahead and do it. So we write the goals out. We write goals for 2023. We write 5-year goals and 10-year goals. He has some amazing goals. And what I will say is, although he was incarcerated and although, he did make some choices that affected him throughout his life, what I will say is that he's super intelligent, super, super smart. Now, that's one thing I'm not going to discredit. Making dumb decisions, yes. But the man is super smart. And when I say super smart, like got an education in jail, went ahead and got certificates, and he could very well be using them. But because he has this background, a lot of times, at least felons will allow that to like be in their forefront. So then it does kind of hinder them in life, on getting good jobs or, being a better person, because then it's like everybody's looking at your past. And I get that too. I don't judge nobody and I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say. At the end of the day, whether he came from jail or not, I was still open to loving him through, because everybody can change and everybody makes mistakes. I don't have no heaven and hell to put nobody in. And one of my closest brothers, God rest his soul, had felony charges on his background. He was a felon. And he was one of the smartest men I know. And can't nobody in this world make me not love him, make me not appreciate him, make me not support him just because he went to jail. Like, you can't make me do that. So who the fuck am I to say something because he went to jail? I done made dumbass decisions too. So get the fuck up out of here with that shit. But like I said, nonetheless, so we sit down, we do 5-year goals, we do 10-year goals. And one of the goals for me, because I'm getting older, yes, I'm 28, and y'all can say what y'all want to say. 28 is not old. But for a woman with medical issues carrying a baby, 28 is older to be having a child. I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, you got to wait till you married to have a kid. That's not me, because at the end of the day, people get married, have kids, and still separate. So at the end of the day, if you love somebody, if your heart is in the right place, you doing things the right way, and you doing things genuinely because you love a person, guess what? That's how you're going to act. And that's me. I was loving on this man. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care if it was too soon. I don't give a fuck. I was loving this man and loving everything about it. And he was giving me that same thing in return. It, like, no questions asked. I got the proof. We were in a relationship. So I did explain to him. I said, look, I am getting older. I have some medical issues that, could hinder me from, carrying a baby the right way. And when I say the right way, without all of the challenges and the high risk factors. So for me, I'm like, I do want a baby. I do want to try to have one more kid before it's all over. And I really do want a daughter. Like, anybody that knows me, I've been wanting a daughter for forever. I felt in my heart that somewhere, somehow, I was meant to be a girl mom. And I was like, I want to have a baby. And so he was in agreement, was like, yeah, I do want to have another baby. I only have my one. And I haven't been the best to her, based off of my history. I haven't been the best to her. So I wanted to make sure that I did things the right way this time. I do want a second chance at being a father and being around throughout the whole process. His words, not mine. I have no reason to make it up. Baby, I have a podcast, Memoirs and Some, the podcast. Feel free to go check it out. It is on YouTube. He and I made a whole episode. And he described his own feelings. This not me forcing shit on nobody. This was him. He asked for this little girl just like I asked for this little girl. So fast forward, we have gone ahead and made our goals. We kind of setting our goals. Now we got a plan, what we're going to do, how he going to do things. So now he has a job. He's going to his job every day. I'm really, really proud of him and what he's doing. I'm like, yes, he done got him a job. And it's a little decent job too. Like, we're not talking about like no little tools and fruits. He's making a nice amount of money and he's learning at this job. So I'm all for growth. He's learning at this job and he's really enjoying like being able to get up, go do what he got to do, so on and so forth. So around maybe the end of October, I tell him like, man, I've been wanting these chips and I've been on the Vintners salt and sour, the hot ones. I was on them, y'all, like bad for like, I'll say like a week. Now it's the end of October, so it's right before Halloween. And I'm just like, man, I've never ate these chips like that. Like, it's no way I'll just want these chips like that all the time. Now, he is coming from his brother's house, and I'm at home with the boys. I was doing something with the boys, I think helping with a project or something. And he was like, you want to go with me or I was like, nah, go ahead. I don't really want to go. I'm finished doing what I got to do. But could you bring me some Chipotle back? So he like, yeah, I'm going to go to the one in Oak Park that's closest to the house. So he gets there and he FaceTimes me and like, babe, they don't have this, they don't have that. It was just a few things that I usually get in my Chipotle bowl that they didn't have. So I'm like, okay. And I immediately like got sad and started crying like out of nowhere. So at this point, I'm like, okay, something's not right. Crying over Chipotle is crazy. Like, what? So he ends up going to another one. He like, babe, it's okay. I'm going to go to another one. He ends up going to another one. They have everything. He comes home with the Chipotle and he was like, are you okay? Like, crying over Chipotle, baby, is crazy. Like, are you sure you're okay? I'm like, yeah, I just, I don't know. I don't know why I started crying. But again, I have not been pregnant in 10 years. My son is 10. So my body is going through some of everything at this point. So I tell him, I'm like, look, when we go to the store, we got to get a pregnancy test because this is not normal. I don't just cry like that. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a Virgo. I'm a sweetheart. I have a soft spot. I'm very sensitive. But crying over Chipotle, y'all, I was just not satisfied with, I was just crying over no Chipotle. So we go to the store, we get a pregnancy test, we come back to the house, and it's positive. 2 lines. When I say it's positive, y'all, I was so happy. And I wish I recorded his reaction. That is the one thing that I hate I didn't do, because y'all, his face like lit up. It was just a whole nother. I'm just like, wow, okay. And he's like, we finna have a baby. We finna have a baby. Like, he was just super ecstatic. And I'm not gonna lie, I was too. I'm like, oh my God, I'm finally finna have a baby. And knowing how my pregnancies were with my sons, with my 2 sons, I didn't have no morning sickness. I didn't have nothing. So immediately, I'm like, this gotta be a little girl, because it's starting already. Part 5 of Pregnant by a Man, Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom, so let's get right into it. Okay, so we done found out I'm pregnant. Both of us are super excited. We done told our families. Our families are excited. Everybody's immediately like, oh my God, I want you to have a girl, blah, 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 blah. Mind you, it's been 10 years since I had a baby. It's been 15 years since he had a baby. Things are going good. He's whining and dining me. We going out to eat. I have plenty of vlogs of us going on dates, different dates, and doing stuff while I was pregnant. I end up taking him on like an appreciation date, because when I say my pregnancy was rough, y'all, my pregnancy was rough. Now, I'm not gonna lie. In the beginning, it was really, really rough, and it was overwhelming for the both of us. I was throwing up all the time. So anybody that doesn't know about morning sickness, we talking about all day morning sickness. I had hyperemesis, which is a really, 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 really bad of case of morning sickness. I had hypersalivation. I was spitting all the time, everywhere. I just stopped spitting at 7 months, literally. Just everything. I was in and out of the hospital. Every time I was at the hospital, he was right there with me. I had to get IVs. I was dehydrated a lot of times. I would throw up to the point where literally I could not take anything. I couldn't take water, like nothing. It was really, really bad. So I have to give credit where credit is due. And this is where it gets kind of crazy, because like I said, the man has literally been there from day one, from the time I found out I was pregnant up until I was 7.5 months. The man was there. I don't care if it was a doctor's appointment. He was there. They knew him by name. When he got off at 4 o'clock, I would make our appointments to be like at 4:30. So he literally wouldn't miss much. He was coming from way on the other side of town, because that's where he was working at. And for those who want to start this whole, was he really at work? Yes, bitch. He got certificates and everything for the fucking job. I got him in my house. Literally. He was going to work at this point in time.
Are they still together? The way she keep getting so hot about this man, what are you telling us this story?
Well, this is during it. She didn't even have the baby yet. So this is like, she's in the midst of experiencing this right now.
I'm saying, but it's like, damn, every time somebody asks a question about him, it's like, yeah, bitch. I said he, like, she just going crazy because they saying, like, he a felon, why would you date him? And then they saying, like, oh,
I mean, she's pregnant.
did he
She
really
might
have
be
a job? Well, they trying to be on her side, though. They're like, you say, is this pregnant by a man living a double life? Was he a bad guy or a good guy? It's not like you telling me a good story. I'm confused. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, we ain't get to the reverse.
I mean, yeah, right. We still got fucking out. Oh, got a long time, and I'm here for.
But it's like, yeah, she definitely going hard to prove his, like, she just going too hard.
Was he a good man?
Like a little
Savannah?
too hard.
All right, well, right.
Like mad as fuck. Like, hold on.
Don't be on Virgos, man.
We trying to be on your side, and you like coming for us. Like, wait.
I ain't saying shit yet. I was getting there, but damn, you making me not even want to say some
like,
shit.
who was questioning if he really had a job?
Like, damn, I was all that too. I'm like, you know, I mean, he's living a double life. Who's to say? I mean, I think it's a valid question. You know, I feel like it's a valid question. What's the double life then? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did he just have a girlfriend? That's not a double life. That's just cheating. Double life means like he had a whole nother life. Like it was other shit. Fuck it.
So don't start that bullshit either. And for those who want to, you ain't see a sign. No, bitch, I didn't see no sign, because I'm not looking for no cheating ass man. I'm not looking for no man to do me in bogus. I'm looking for the person that you're presenting to me. And if you're presenting to me that you want to be here and this is what you want, you're giving me family, man, we're doing this together, then that's what the fuck the expectation is. So for all you traumatized ass bitches in my fucking comments, and all you traumatized ass men that want to, oh, you should have knew. No, everybody makes mistakes. And at the end of the day, I didn't see none of this coming, because I genuinely went in with a genuine heart, just like I thought he was too. So anyway, the doctors did explain to us, that they were concerned with my growth and the baby's growth because I have what you call ulcerative colitis. Ulcerative colitis is a chronic digestive disease, basically where your small intestine gets inflamed. Look it up. I'm not going to go into details. I have ulcerative colitis. Most of the time when you have this chronic disease, it is hard for your child to get the nutrients. With that being said, I had to see now another doctor, which was a high risk doctor. So not only are we going to my primary doctor, we now have to throw in another doctor that we have to go see on the regular as well. So I'm going to see my regular doctor every month. Then we're going to see the high risk doctor every month. It turned from every month to every 2 weeks. Literally, we was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So again, I'm in my content bag. He and I are doing some, side hustles on the side. We getting, just getting things together because we got this baby coming. He like, I'm really excited. I can't wait to see you interact with the baby. And I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, yeah, I want to see you as a daddy too. I want to see this 1 and 2 in the morning thing because he's a night owl. So I could be asleep and he'll be up playing the game or something like that. So it was going to be interesting to see because our schedules was kind of different. So B being an early bird, I'm like, okay, I probably could take the early shift with her. And then him being late, he could kind of do them late hours, the wee hours, because he's always up anyway. So then he tells me that he wants to pick up another job and that there's an opportunity to do like some security work. So him and one of his good friends, they were working together at one point. So I would, see them go to the little security gigs. They would go do security gigs at like clubs and stuff like that for a couple of hours, twos and froos here and there. And then he would come home. Literally, we would be in communication that whole time. He would text me like, hey, babe, I'm working the dough. Call me if you need me. If you need me, I'm leaving. I'm coming right home, so on and so forth. So I'm like, okay, really no big deal. And again, when a person doesn't give you a reason not to trust them, I don't do that. I'm not no nagging ass lady. I'm grown as hell. If you tell me this is what you're doing, this is what I expect. That's the same way I am. If I tell you this is what I'm doing, that's just how I am. It's a level of respect. We too fucking old to be doing the back and forth shit. I don't do that. So like I said, this pregnancy was rough. Your girl was just having a whole lot going on. So I was always tired. I would kind of cook, kind of do the housework, and then kind of be around the house. Y'all would see a couple videos here and there. If I was on a good day, you would see a lot of videos. But y'all don't even understand. I would record 5 to 10 videos on a good day so I could drop them strategically because your girl was really not feeling well. When I tell y'all I went a month and a half in the beginning of this pregnancy of no posting, I literally went a month and a half because I was that sick. So fast forward, Christmas Eve, we have our gender reveal. It was a Grinchmas theme. We found out we having a little girl. The house was super cute, super decorated. I did do content on that. Me and him got pretty much all of this stuff done. He helped me. I told him, like, I never had a gender reveal. I never had a baby shower. He was like, me neither. Because he had a baby young. I had a baby young. And then we just didn't have no more kids for a long time. So at that point, he was like, yeah, let's do it. So I'm like, you sure you okay with the theme? He like, yeah. At first he wanted a different theme. Then we kind of went through it. And I was like, I think this will be cute because it's on Christmas Eve. So again, we going, back and forth to find decorations and do all of this stuff. And then we started to plan the baby shower because at the gender reveal, we find out we were having a little girl. So immediately my people are like, where's the baby registry? His people are like, where's the baby registry? So we getting the baby registry together. He and I are both, like sending each other stuff back and forth. I'm like, you like this? He like, yeah. We looking at car seats. I'm amazed at how much technology has really like taken a toll since I had my kids because this stuff, like my little daughter, she got everything. Not to say my boys didn't, but when I was having them, like all of this stuff was not available. I was like in amazement. I ain't even gonna lie. And so was he. He like bottle warmer, bottle maker. Like we both in amazement. So we're picking this stuff out. We're picking her stroller, her car seat. I'm talking about everything we are literally doing together. So now it comes to a point, I'm about, I'll say 6 months. And so he comes to me and he tells me, hey, babe, my aunt texted me and said that my grandma is not doing well. Now, I do know that his grandmother is sick. And so I'm like, okay, Cool. He said his grandma not feeling well. His aunt sent him a message like, man, mama birthday coming up. I really think y'all should come down here because if something happens, all of y'all kind of living y'all lives and nobody has come to see her. Now I get it and understand, but again, at the time, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But whole time, of course, now he's saucing it to me as if it's way more than what the aunt actually said. But we'll get to that. So he's telling me, he's making it seem like, the grandmother is like really in a bad place. Like she may not make it. She may not even make it to the baby shower. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't want to travel. I voluntarily said no. It wasn't that he told me I couldn't or like, oh, we couldn't go together. It was me saying, nah, I was just a little skeptical. And I'm not big on leaving my kids. That's one thing I don't do. I don't just pick up and leave my kids. Not no impromptu trips. I don't do that. So we go ahead, we get everything together for his trip. I help him pack his stuff or whatever. He's like, oh, it's only going to be a couple days. I'm like, okay, 2-3 days is cool. I'm like, but you cannot leave until after Easter. Let's do what we were going to do for the kids and for the house. And then after Easter, you can take those couple of days and you go. Make sure you put in, for work. Now he explains to the job like, hey, I got to go out of town for a couple of days. He's in communication with them. They like, no, it's okay. It's excused, whatever, so on and so forth. So he goes to California to go see his grandmother. But there's a twist to all of that. Part 6, pregnant by a man living a double life. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom. So let's get right into part 6. So he's out of town. He's, seeing his grandma. I'm seeing him, with his grandma. I'm on the phone, with the both of them. And again, nothing is weird. Like he's continuing to, call me, text me. Communication is still the same. Nothing has changed because he's in California. He's checking on me on a regular. Hey, babe, you okay? How's my baby? Back and forth. I mean, we are really having for real conversation. Again, if nobody gives you a reason not to trust them, what is there not to trust? I'm talking to his grandma, we going back and forth. And so he comes home. He comes home after these couple of days. I love you. I missed you. I missed you too. We back and forth. So now life is back to regular. He done gone back to work, so on and so forth. So he comes home on maybe like a Thursday or something. And he's like, hey, I got to talk to you because some stuff is going on with my older daughter. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Me, I'm a sucker for kids. So anytime you say something going with the kids, I'm like this. What happened? What we need to do? That's where I am because I don't play about my motherfucking kids. So that's just me. So he goes into this long drawn out story in a nutshell without making this really, really drawn out. He goes into this long drawn out thing about how his oldest child's mother has this case with them folks. Y'all know the letter folks. And that, it was a possibility his daughter could be in the middle of it and she could be taken away and this and that. Now, his daughter doesn't live in Illinois. She stays in another state. I'm not going to disclose all of that. However, he goes into this thing. So he's explaining it to me. He's telling me, like, I got to go meet with these lawyers because they try and take my baby. I don't really know how to deal with this. So as he's telling me, me and my friend are looking certain stuff up, trying to help him. Like, in this state, this is the regulation. In this state, this is the regulation. So he's really feeding this to us and we're all concerned. So I'm asking him, like, is your mom going to be able to go with you? Because, again, I don't want to travel. I'm scared to travel pregnant. I ain't never traveled pregnant. And, again, I don't leave my kids just abruptly like that. And my personal opinion is if this is your child with this young lady, I don't get in the middle of that. So I was like, okay, he tells me like, yeah, my mom gonna meet me down there. She's traveling from where she's coming from. His mom stays in another state as well. She's gonna travel where she's traveling from. She gonna meet me here. We gonna travel and go together to go finish that part. And then hopefully it'll get handled. So now in the back of my head, I'm telling my friend like something's not right with this. I don't really know what. But again, when a person doesn't give you a reason not to trust them, you just kind of, So one thing I'm not is stupid, but I do hold information, until it's beneficial. So I definitely told my friend, like, I ain't feeling it. Like, 2 plus 2 is not equaling 4 at this point, but I'm finna see how this shit play out. So he comes home, he telling me about all of the stuff that happens at this supposedly thing. And in the midst of this, you all, he supposedly is unable to get a flight home because of where this place is. So where he's telling me he has to go is Montana. And he's like, the place, I know in different places, the particular place that he's saying that's in Montana, or the city that's in Montana, certain flights go to. So he wasn't lying about that, because me and my friend looked it up. So he was very strategic about how he went about saying, it's in this specific city, because he knows that that city only has that specific type of flight that can get there. So again, he's home, he's explaining everything, and I'm like, oh, okay, playing, like, oh, okay, cool. I'm understanding everything. Again, he's texting me while he's there, but this time when he's texting me, things are a little bit of, sketchy. They are spaced out. And so all of this is playing back in my head as he's telling me all of this stuff that has happened while he's gone to deal with this case about his daughter. So now we fast forward. He's back. Things gone back to normal. Again, he's going to this security job now. But then he then took it a step further with the security job. So he comes to me with like, if I want to pick up extra hours with the security job, how would you feel? And I was like, well, it depends on the hours, and it kind of depends on what that would look like, because, I don't want to interfere with daily life. It's one thing to work. I'm not never telling no man that he can't work. I'm not never telling no man he cannot provide. But when it interferes with your household, one thing about jobs is they don't give a fuck about you. You are replaceable. So at the end of the day, when your life comes to a crash, guess what? They're going to go to the next motherfucker, because their life ain't in no crash right now. And I know that about jobs, because I've been the motherfucker on the other side. Like, well, yeah, that happened, but, the functions of the job still have to be done, pretty much, right? So y'all just keep in the back of y'all mind that he asked to pick up hours at this security job. But mind y'all, I know the security job is for parties. So it just gets a little funny. But just wait. So moving forward, April 28th, I go into preterm labor. I call my mom, like, my back is really hurting. I'm contracting, I feel like. And this is just not normal. Like, I don't feel like my regular, like, movement or little pregnancy pains. Like, this is, I ain't feeling it. So I'm like, Mom, I'm going to call him and I'm going to let him know. But I think, I'm going to just wait or whatever until he gets off. He get off in an hour because he got to go pick up Mario. My mama like, no, you're not going to wait. He can go pick up Mario and then come up to the hospital. I'm about to come get you now. Go get ready. Now, one thing for certain and two things for sure, my people don't play about me. My mama, my sister, my cousins, they don't play. My grandma, my aunties. I am very spoiled. I am the youngest granddaughter and I am super spoiled. So when I tell y'all my people don't play about me, they don't play about me. So my mom gets here. She gets, helps me get ready. I think I just needed help getting dressed. I had gotten in the shower and everything, got myself together. And so we head to the hospital. Now I get to the hospital. I'm texting him and I called him and I told him, like, I'm at the hospital. So now he leaves work. He goes to get my younger son. He flies to the hospital. Now he gets to the hospital maybe about 15 minutes after we got there. Maybe even 20. I say that, like 20 minutes. And so I'm throwing up like crazy. I could barely walk. I get up to the room. They put me right on the monitor. Boom. Who's contracting? And I'm not talking about just regular contracting. I am talking about contracting, y'all. Like, they are coming every 3 to 5 minutes. They are not slowing down. So in the midst of him picking my son up, my mom and my cousin are communicating with him, because at this point, I'm on the machines. My phone about to die. I'm like, could y'all just let him know, what's going on, but don't tell him too much, because I know how he is under pressure. Don't do that. I don't need him getting in no car accident. He picking up my baby. We got to do this strategically. Men don't always handle things the way women do. So my mama, in true mama form, kind of finessed it, told him, like, she's okay, the baby's okay, but, when we get here, we gonna leave up out the room, because, you need to go ahead and be with your lady. So he gets there, he's frustrated. He like, oh, I don't want her to come right now. Like, it's too early, because it really is too early. At this point, I'm 32 weeks and my daughter is not even 4 pounds at this point. So it is very too early. Like I said, she is developing slow, and she's not gaining as quickly as normal babies would, because I have this ulcerative colitis. And then in the beginning of my pregnancy, I wasn't able to hold anything down. So she was not eating on the regular like a typical baby. Fast forward, the hospital that I was at is not a stage 2 hospital, which means if my daughter was to come and they had to do any type of anything on her, they would immediately have to separate us and either helipad or send her in an ambulance to a stage 3 hospital where they have a NICU and they can work on babies who are preterm. So at this point, we both scared. I'm in there kind of crying, like, I don't want nothing to happen to my baby. He's trying to keep me calm, but at the same time, he's frustrated too. Like, I really don't want nothing to happen to her either. Like, if she got to stay in the NICU or got to be separated from you, I know you are not going to be good. Like, I know how this finna go with you, because I just know you. And we both kind of in the same place. And I'm just kind of like, hell yeah, I'm glad you know, because I'm going to send this up. And that's how I'm just feeling. But at the same time, I got to remember, I got to kind of relax and try to let this be what it's going to be and know that it's going to be okay. Part 7 of Pregnant by a Man, Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom, so let's get back into it. Okay, so now everything is going on at the hospital. I'd have been transferred to a stage 3 hospital. They're doing everything they can to stop the labor. The doctors were amazing. The whole time, they making sure both of us are okay. Dad, how you feeling? Mom, how you feeling? Are we both comfortable? The whole time we're in the hospital, he's updating his mom. He's updating his family. I'm updating my family. My mama is back and forth. She with my kids. My cousins and my sister are back and forth, making sure he's okay. Do you need us to bring you something? How she's doing? Everybody is kicking in to ensure that mom and dad are good. So after 3 medications, they gave my baby the steroid shot, actually 2 steroid shots for her lungs. They ended up being able to slow the labor down. However, they made it very clear, no stressing, no extra movement, no nothing, because anything can send you back into labor. Not to mention, I was 2 centimeters dilated. So he knows this. You all, he understands. He knows that I am 2 centimeters dilated. He's understanding. He's like, okay, babe, you got to really relax now. Now, I told y'all, in the last couple of months, like maybe between month 5 and month 6, that's when my energy picked up. And I'll even say month 7, my energy really, really, really picked up. So I was trying to do everything I could within the time, because I didn't have no energy for like the first 5 months. Like, this little girl had really taken everything from me. So we get home, everything is going well, everything's back to normal. Again, he's doing this security job, but it's no miscommunication. It's nothing that has me thinking like, okay, maybe this is something else. However, he pulls something that I now know is like, okay, something's not right, but I can't prove it. But let me see how this play out. One thing about me as a Virgo, I'm real strategic on how I bring stuff up, because I've always been a hothead. So in this situation, even after I could, see where it was something that was off in this particular place, I wasn't able to bring it to him right then and there, because I still felt like if I bring it to him and I'm wrong, then it's like I don't trust you. So let me bring it to you when I know solidly that this is what's going on. So he randomly is at work and he texts me at work and he texts me, hey, she asked me to do it overnight. And in my head, I'm like, no, I don't agree with it. I don't like it. No. And so he was like, Maya, this is my job. So at this point, now I know it's some extra shit to it, because who gets that fucking mad that I said, no, I don't like the overnight shit? Like, I'm sitting here pregnant as fuck, 2 centimeters. No, hell no, I don't like it. So he's like, okay, so he comes home after the shift. And we're talking about it, and I said, you know what? I don't like this whole, this impromptu thing. Don't no job, just do no shit like this. Like, now I'm kind of going in because I'm like, no job just randomly is telling you, oh, we need you to stay. That's not your responsibility. If who the fuck she don't have on that damn schedule is not there, that is not your problem. You do your 8, you do your 12, and you get the fuck on because you got a life outside of this shit. And just like I said, a job will replace your ass in a minute. So you're not going to be busting your ass doing all this extra shit for this security job. And we not doing that.
I mean, maybe he just wanted the extra hours to make some money though. I mean, you having a kid on the way, you get into your grind, and then yeah, you could leave, but how many shift ended and you work in these type of establishments where you got it, how you have a shift changers, like somebody comes in to fill your place and say they not gonna be there for an hour or so. You just gonna leave your team behind like that? I mean, I just feel like, I don't know. A lot of people take pride in what they do. If I've been in prison for a long time, I might just be just happy to have a job at this point, and just
I think if that was the case, then she would have been okay with it. But she already has her suspicions. She know for a fact he is not at work. She know for a fact that job is not requiring him to be there. She said he was security for parties. Like, she already feels the distance. She already feel like he moving funny. So it's like, nobody gets that upset. If you just explain it to her, it was like, her intuition is kicking in. I think if she knew that it was really just about the job, then it would have been that. But she knows something more.
She don't do that. Fuck all that. She said she don't do all that shit. She don't be doing all that thinking about negative shit when ain't no negative shit happen. Ain't that what she just yelled at us about earlier? Nah, ain't no way in fuck she saying that right now, is she? Hell no, right? Just don't match it. It ain't matching what was said. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like he ain't doing shit, he ain't getting no reason to feel like he's doing shit. So why the hell you think he was doing some shit? Let him go to work. Let him be there all day because he got a kid on the way. That's the reason. Because you said he ain't gonna be doing shit. At that point, he ain't getting no reason. So I don't want to hear all that. Yeah, welcome. Yeah.
Accountability.
Accountability. Yeah, I love it.
So fast forward, we going back over our goals, some things he got to handle. He was pulled over earlier in the summer and found out like his current license in the state we live in is revoked, but his license that is in the state he used to stay in is not. So he's like, okay, let me see if I can go down there at least so I can have a valid license until I can deal with what needs to be done with it being revoked. So let's be clear. The state that he used to live in, he had a valid license. He had the photo ID of the license. He misplaced the license. I don't know if I washed it in some pans. He lost it. Whatever the case may be, he couldn't find a physical license. And we have been tearing this house up for a minute trying to find it. So we come up with a plan. We like, okay, you got to go there to go get your license. In the meantime, let's do what we have to do here so that while you go get the license there, we can also be in the process of getting the license here. So we do everything you got to do to get your license, or at least the process started to getting his license revoked. So you send off the money order, you send off the letter, you got to get a court date in order for them to unrevoke your license. So that process is done in the current state we live in. And now we have a plan on, him going to get his license. So I'm like, okay, we could take a road trip if it's on the weekend. If it's not on the weekend and the DMV down there is not open, then you need to take someone with you that has a valid license. And the only person that I trust that can be in my truck with him to go that far is his best friend. So his best friend like, man, let me see if I can get the time off because he's in school doing another trade, I guess a vocation for something else. Excuse me. So he like, let me see if I can get the time off. If I can get the time off, I'll ride with you. He was like, but we got to be back that same day. He was like, yeah, I'm trying to do it in and out. I'm just trying to go down there, get my license and come on back. So, I don't have no issues. Cool. In the midst of all of this going on, my older sister's biological father passes. My god sister's father is in the hospital. So the two people that I would usually depend on while, he's gone, even if it's at work, they kind of help out here and there, they're not going to be available. Not to mention my favorite cousin, she doesn't have a car. My two best friends, they stay out of state, so they were not coming until the baby is born. And my mom has a second job that's in Michigan at our family camp. We own a family camp and my mom works up there. So on most weekends, that's where my mom goes. So she wasn't going to be available either. Now here it is, Thursday night. My cousin had came over and she was there with me. So at this point, I'm like, okay, we're going to take her home. She stays on the south side, so we had to make sure she gets home. So I see that he's really, really tired. And when I say really, really tired, y'all, like he's sleep. Like he came in from work, didn't even really want to eat, but he kept telling me like my back is hurting, my back is hurting. Now, mind you, he had been telling me his back was hurting but before, and I do know that he has had back issues because again, this man was sleeping with me every night. So again, I know that he's not lying about that, and I would give him like a Bayer or a Tylenol, but evidently those were not working. So I tell him like, babe, I'll drive. Just ride with me. If you want to sleep, you can sleep, but I'll drive, because you seem tired. He's like, nah, babe, you pregnant. I don't want you doing all of that, so on and so forth. So me and my cousin, we get in the car. Cool. He wakes up. We make it there safely. He's good. We drop her off. We're getting ready to come back home. Who the fuck falls asleep at the wheel? So immediately I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I wake him up. I'm like, no, pull over now. Get the fuck out the driver's seat. Like, now I'm mad because I'm sitting here pregnant. You falling asleep. You're not even thinking about none of us. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, nigga? Like, get up. So I drive us home. We get home. He goes to sleep. We talk about it in the morning. He's like, babe, I'm so sorry. I did not realize I was that tired. So on and so forth. But in my head, I'm like, I don't know. That's tired, but that's something else to being tired. But again, I don't have no proof. What I'm going to say? Yeah, you just tired? Yeah, nah, that ain't sitting well with me. Now, I've known people to abuse drugs. I've known people to do them, for their own particular reasons. But never in a million years am I thinking that that's what he's doing at this point in time. So when he's telling me, on his way home, we are communicating. He's like, hey, I'm stopping to grab this from this person. I'm not disclosing who it is and I'm not disclosing what it is, but just know it is not a normal drug. I'm like, okay, but again, make it make sense. And he's only coming with one, like I'm only seeing one. So I'm thinking, okay, he's taking this when he get home, pain medicine, so on and so forth. Boy, was I wrong. Part 8 of Pregnant by a Man Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom, so let's get right back into it. Okay, so now my wheels are turning. Y'all know I'm on I'm on alert because nothing is making sense. Stuff is starting to give me just real no. So I'm holding all of this. So the next day we get up, he's talking to me. He's like, babe, I'm sorry. I did not mean to fall asleep. I was just really, really tired, so on and so forth. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm telling him, how I didn't feel safe and, I'm not cool with that. And we kind of really he notices that I'm really not messing with him at this point. So he's like, okay, babe, what could I do? I'm sorry, and I'm just like, it's nothing that you could do at this point. It's just something I got to get over. But you, that was a clear sign, you was not thinking about me or your daughter, and I ain't feeling it. So, we, trying to work out a plan for how he could go get his ID. We still trying to make sure that goes in order. But again, I'm just at a place with him right now. So, his mom calls and is like, when are you supposed to get on the road? So he tells her, the next morning, so on and so forth. Well, later on that night, early morning, so on and so forth. She was like, well, I'm glad you didn't leave yet because that DMV is not open on Fridays. So you wouldn't be able to go do it anyway. Now, in the midst of that, me and him have had a slight back and forth about that because I tell him you know what? I'm really not comfortable with you leaving. And then I just kind of don't have a way to get around on Friday. And I want to be able to be there for my sister. I just really ain't feeling how that's going to go. So it was slight. It wasn't like we was going at each other next, but it was definitely slight. And he wasn't understanding where I was coming from right then and there until I guess something went off. And his mom was like, well, you couldn't come anyway. So it would have been a waste of trip. However, even in that slight argument, something was not right. Now, mind you, I told y'all, he's been taking these pain pills for his back. But these, they got him doing some other stuff. This is not him. So fast forward to Friday, I go help my friend before I go to my sister's father's memorial. So I go help my friend in the morning to get an audit done for her program. And then, I go grab me something to eat. And then I was going to come home and check on him before I went ahead to go to the memorial. So that's my plan. I'm getting ready for the day. I'm kind of not fazed by nothing because at this point, I'm like, with the whole falling asleep thing, then the whole us having that little altercation, I really wasn't feeling that. And I'm feeling like something is wrong with you, but you're not telling me, and I don't really know what it is. I can't pinpoint it, but I know in the midst of something's not right. So I'm downstairs. I got my plan. I'm getting myself together in my closet. I'm like, okay, doing my makeup, getting dressed. And he comes downstairs to talk to me. He's like, hey, my mom's making me feel bad, because I'm still not coming. My brother's graduating. And then she's about to have surgery and she don't have no help. Her husband has a job in another state, and she asked if I could still come down there and help. So now I'm irritated. So at this point, I immediately was like, what? His mom's not having heart surgery. She's not having no cardiac arrest, no stroke, no heart attack, no cancer, no nothing. She's having surgery on her arm. And this man asked me if I was okay with him taking my truck to drive to another state, leave me pregnant here with no way to get around, my 2 children, to go help your mom because she has arm surgery. So you want me to give you up, my child's father and boyfriend, who we are currently pregnant with a baby, to go help your mom with your 2 older brothers? And when I say older, they're not older than him, but they're old enough where they can get in Ubers, Lyfts, and all of this. They're old enough. Immediately, I'm like, no. I'm like, no. I'm not okay with that. No. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Your mom called me. He was like, you should just call her back. I don't really know what's going on, but she's crying, saying she don't have no help, blah, 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 blah. I mean, he is really selling it like she needs all of this help for arm surgery. This is what he's telling me. So I went ahead and ordered my food. And as I'm ordering my food and waiting, I return her call. So I'm like, hey, what's going on? She's like, hey, I know you got everything going on with the baby, but I was wondering if you could let him come down here because I need some help. My one son is graduating and he needs to do this. And my other son, he has Battle of the Bands. So I go home, I check on him. I'm like, hey, how you feeling? So on and so forth. He doesn't work on Fridays. So I'm like, okay, I'm about to head over to the memorial. The memorial wasn't far from my house. And I'm not going to not be here for my sister because you and your mama got whatever y'all got going on. That don't really have nothing to do with me. And at the end of the day, it really don't have nothing to do with you because your mother is an adult. Your mother has a husband. When you have a husband, that is your husband's job to put aside whatever he had going on to ensure that you were aided and assisted. So I explained to him, I said, I am not comfortable with that. And the fact that either of y'all are okay with this is really mind-boggling and it's bothering me. Nobody is thinking about me or my child at this point, and I ain't feeling like none of this. So he's telling me he understands. So I leave out. I go to the memorial with my sister. We're all there. She's going through whatever she's going through. We're there. I go to the repast, so on and so forth. So I go home and I pick up my youngest son. And he's still on this same, I want to go down there to my mom thing. And now I'm at a place of okay, this is deeper than this. Something not right. Because you're pushing this issue way too much.
No, Miss Genuine. Nah, you so caring. You care about everything, right? but on a serious note, though, I get 100% where she's coming from.
Yeah,
but remember how you led with when y'all was only talking, you was letting him use his car, and it was always, you know what, I want the best for you, whatever you want. Yes. I would never tell a man he can't go get his money. I would never stop any of this. And now it seems like to progress, the no's just keep progressing, and I don't think he like that either. Because all that yes shit you was doing in the beginning, this ain't you. He like what? Nah, you was always on my side. You always was trying to make me happy. You always wanted me to do this, that, and the third, and you was okay with whatever I was doing. And you always trusted me. Wait, where's all this coming from? Yeah. So this is what I'm saying.
Well, I shut your traumatized ass up.
Right. Let me know. I must be traumatized. So let me. Let me
Right,
hope.
yeah, that's not say no. Let it, but that's why people are skeptical though, because people have been through this shit. You know, you say like, "Oh, I get what you're coming from, the positive mindset of it," but that's how you end up with a man with a double life. So the last thing I'm gonna hear from somebody saying, "Oh, I don't think y'all should be judging people by actions, like prison, like choices you make in life lead you to prison." I'm not saying they bad people, but you gonna just sweep that under the rug? What do you go to prison for? You ever ask? Care to tell? How long did he spend in prison? Those things matter. And if you say like, oh, and you have kids, so if I got kids, I'm not about to just be with somebody who just got out of prison and he in prison for some shit that's crazy. I don't care what you talking about. I got family members that's been in prison too. I love them, but I leave them with my children? Fuck no. Would I trust them in my house when I'm gone with cash in my damn room? Fuck no. But I love them to death. It's about, y'all know what I'm saying? It's not, I get what she trying to say, but to try to say like, oh, we just traumatize people and we don't, that's why your ass is in this situation. You're traumatized right now by this whole situation. So it's like you got to think people are just trying to help in this situation. I know sometimes it can come off as rude, like they trying to challenge you. And I know Virgo, they always don't ever want to hear shit. And I try to be the difference in that because at the end of the day we all humans. That's why I don't really believe in the science shit. I just be having fun with it because at the end of the day we all individuals. I can play with we Virgos, but in reality we are all human. We all go through shit. It don't matter what month or what day of the year you was born, you're gonna go through shit. So if somebody's trying to help, if you want them to continue to try to help, you gotta learn to receive the advice instead of saying like, "Hey, y'all just traumatized. Y'all used to shit." Girl, you got two kids, and you're not in the father's life. You know what I mean? They're not. Y'all not together. And I'm not saying that's not most of the people in the case, but you're over here with us. You're not up here compared to us. You got kids by I don't know how many different. Did she got kids by the same man or?
I'm assuming so.
Okay, but still, two different men now.
Yeah.
So it's like you gotta understand, you just in the same boat as everybody else, and all that skepticism shit you saying right now, and you were saying like, I don't do all that. Well, I don't do all that. So why are you doing that now? Up until this point, you had no proof that he was cheating and had a double life, but some odd reason in your back of your head, you had a feeling. You see what I'm saying? If you let people talk long enough, they'll show you who they truly are. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you trying to knock people for feeling the way you already know. You feel that way too. You think that same way.
Yeah.
It's human. It's nature. If you've been through trauma in your life and you see, you learned the signs and the patterns of your abusers and those people in your life who ever traumatized you, and you see somebody with the same patterns, you're not going to be like, hold on. You know what I'm saying? If you, okay,
I also want to add, you're sitting here saying, why would he and his mother feel like they are like should have the car even though you need it for you and your kids and you feel like they don't care? This is why even you made that comment saying, oh, I don't want to be in between him and his baby mama, what they got going on. But she could have probably told you what you was about to get into because she already has a kid with him. And
right?
you ain't really mentioned much about their relationship
Yeah.
besides the fact that, that's their relationship and I don't want to get into it. But you about to have a daughter with him too. So why wasn't he in his daughter's life? And how did that play out? And was the mama involved in the daughter's life?
She ain't care to know.
Right, and now you're about to end up in the same situation. Why? Because you didn't do your due diligence. Maybe because you feel like, oh, well, I'm not that same baby mama. We're not the same woman.
Everybody feel like they
that's
special.
the same man.
Yeah.
That's the same man.
Yeah, common denominator, baby, for sure. And we're not trying to get on but it's all about critique. And then you want to share a story, we want to share our opinions, and we want to share what we've been through in life. So I'm not knocking her. I like her charisma and stuff like that. I like how straightforward she is. She's very straightforward and stern. But sometimes with people who are like this, like I'm like this in myself, you tend to overlook your damn self. You're too busy analyzing everybody else and thinking you trying to figure everybody else out. You ain't even figured yourself out. Like you don't even realize you're suffering from the same shit you think that he's suffering from. Like that's just how I feel on that. We sat back for a while. I wanted to get more and more and more information from this person before I even came up with this type of analogy. But what do y'all think so far about this?
And I'm not feeling why you pushing this issue when me and this little girl are fucking here. You feel me? So these are the text messages between he and I. Now, the whole time he's texting me while I'm at my sister's memorial. It's very, very selfish. It's very, very self-centered about him and his mom. It has nothing to do with the memorial, not how you feeling, not how they feeling, how's my sister, like nothing. it's simply just about him and his mom. And that is really tripping me out. Like, I really don't understand this. And I have no reason to lie on nobody. I have the voicemail still in my damn phone. Like, we can go there and I can definitely drop it for y'all, because the amount of inconsideracy and the amount of just, I don't even know the word, that it came with this is now really starting to take me to a whole nother place. And then again, you're asking me to basically inconvenience myself, my kids, and put us basically to the back burner. What? So at this point, I'm irritated. I'm like, like, you're not making sense. So at this point, me and him are going at it. When I say y'all, we are going at it. Mind y'all, I am 7 months pregnant. I've been in preterm labor. I'm 2 centimeters dilated. And this is a lot of stress now at this point, because you are making such a big deal to go down here. And I'm not understanding. Like, your mom is not dying. I'm not never telling you to choose me over your mom. But you, as a man, you have a household. We are here. We are one. We have this baby together. And why is that more important? I'm really not understanding. So fast forward, you all, I'm now starting to see a whole nother side of him. When I say a whole nother side, a whole nother side. Whatever it is that he was taking for that back is kicking in. His eyes are bulging, like he's just really in this place. And I mean, he's going up and down. He's yelling, then he's calm. Then he's yelling, then he's calm. He's like, baby, I love you. It's just for a couple of days. Then it turns into, you want me to say fuck my mama? You telling me to say fuck my mama? Like, the man is going crazy, y'all. And I'm just sitting here looking like, what the hell is going on? And now I'm crying. I'm all emotional. It is just really a whole lot going on. Mind you, I just left my sister's dad's memorial and I picked up my younger son. So all of this is going on and my younger son is seeing this. Part 9 of Pregnant by a Man, Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom, so let's keep it going. So at this point, I'm not understanding what he's talking about. I'm crying. I'm all emotional. I'm like, this is so frustrating. This is so stressful. Like, why are you doing this? I don't understand. And all he keeps hollering is that I need to go to my mom. I need to go to my mom. Like, you don't understand. This is my mom. This is my mom. And in my head, I'm like, I understand this is your mom. But again, this is me and your daughter. Like, this is not making sense to me. Nothing is making sense. So we're yelling, going back and forth. It's just super chaotic. My cousin is like, cousin, please calm down. What about the baby? And in this moment, I let this man get under my skin so bad because I'm trying to understand where he's coming from, but it's just not making sense to me.
You know what? You made a good point, and I thought this too. Why the fuck don't he have a? Why y'all ain't just get him a rental? Come on, y'all family. You saying all this? We family. Come on, family.
Yeah.
I can't get a rental because I'm a convicted felon, and you don't judge us for being felons. So go ahead and get me a rental, and let me go out there and take care of what I need to take care of. I ain't cheated on you yet, so
Literally
I'm that
simple. Like,
I'm staying on that.
go get a rental for the weekend. Y'all making all this money, right? He working every day, right? He doing overtime, right?
Yeah,
Y'all
get the
see why you was
rental.
going so
Why
hard
is
on
it
people.
always one way? You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you the man, you got to do all of this, you got to do all that. But it's like, all right, well, let me use your car. Shit, if I got to die every time somebody come in this damn house, let me get the car and go take care of my mama, understanding that he's been in prison and hasn't been around his mom. So maybe he is looking at that surgery and arm. My cousin got shot in his arm by a 22, a little bullet like this, and it traveled all the way up to his heart and killed him. So you thinking like certain surgeries won't kill a person or things won't kill a person? You never know. You can go in for arm surgery and lose your life. I'm not saying it's not common, but that's not saying it's never happened before. We don't know that. He don't know that. You know what I'm saying? It's like he could be very street smart, but when it comes to like certain things, we just be like, damn, I gotta be there for my mama because somebody ain't there. And this comes from a man who ain't close to his mother, who don't even. But I can understand a man who has been around his mother his whole life and who knows his mother, and she's in need right now, and she don't have anybody else but him, and he's finally out to help her as the man, as a boy, as the guys growing up. You feel like you are your mom's, like how your son is. Your son feel like he your man and stuff. They grow up feeling like that still too. Like, I gotta protect my mama, so
Exactly.
it ain't nobody coming in between that. Especially not nobody I just had a kid with that I just met.
And now it's like you're like pushing a wedge in between them. Like, he's saying, "Oh, like, you making me choose my mama." That's a red flag. I don't know if you know this, but that's a red flag. He's already making you feel like he got to choose either or when that's not even a certain. Like, could have just got the room. But either way, it's like you should have, before you had this kid with him. You should have known what type of family he had. And if that bond between him and his mom, it don't matter what you say, it's always going to be his mama.
Yeah, I get where she's coming from, though. But my thing is
100%
this:
get where
is
you're coming
like,
from.
I get where she's coming from because she's pregnant and she trying to get us to understand that. Well, if I'm pregnant. I got a baby pretty much that's about to be a premature, a preemie pretty much because anything under 38 weeks is considered preemie. Well, is that true? 'Cause that's what somebody told me. I don't think that's true. Is it?
I don't think 38.
I think you get jaundice or something at 38. I don't think it's considered preemie. I think it's like something in that age. It got to be preemie, like 30, 32, right? Not under 38 weeks. I take that back. Scratch that back. Y'all know I'm not no damn doctor. Something about that week, that 30-week range. I know for a fact that's probably premature. So I can understand what she's talking about. It's like it's like come on, we family.
Yeah, and then I think he felt some type of way because you here for everybody. You went somewhere for your sister. You did something else for somebody else, and he like, I'm just trying to see my mama.
That's all we can assume.
Like, you here for everybody else, but I can't be there for my mama.
Right? Come on, we a family.
You just said
These are the type of arguments y'all be having behind the scenes, and then you be wondering who's right in the situation, and y'all both be wrong. Because it's like you think you so right about how you feel, but you wrong in a sense too, because based off of your own morals and principalities that you told us, right? Your own principles, then you wrong because you said that you would do it. You love a person, you don't think about all the negative shit. I think that's an excuse, though. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people don't want to know the past due to insecurity or trauma, or maybe you got some shit going on in your past and you don't want him digging in your shit. But to sit here and be like, oh, I don't look because I don't think of nothing negative. Yes, you do. You just showed us throughout. By the time we get down to this story time, we're gonna know a lot about you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna know a lot about how you think, how you take things in, and how you receive it all. So it's no point of lying about it. Just be honest in these story times. Like you just don't get it. It ain't your first child. I get it. You're going through complications, but you gotta understand that puts a lot of stress on the men too. Men are stressing. He's stressing because you crying over Chipotle. Like you're extra. I'm not gonna lie to you. Don't get me wrong. I know it's been 10 years and all that, but coming from somebody with kids and have been there for every kid I had, I never, it depends on who you having kids with, I guess, because shit, some people don't try to make that a terrible experience for themselves or for the other parent, but that's just what I'll get from life, but that's it.
Yeah, and since you've been pregnant, it seemed like he's been trying to get away every chance he could.
Yeah.
And I know you start peeping it by now.
Yeah, the fling over.
So now it's like, you got to go again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, she's probably just stressing him out. All that, you crying over Chipotle.
And then it's like, he's not even seeing his kid. You got 2 boys there. And it's like, I'm not trying to pass no judgment. I'm pretty sure he does love your children. But it's like, you sitting here like, oh,
how can
the
I love
kids
your
here.
children more than I love my own children? Ask yourself that. How can a man love your child more than he loves his own child? Y'all be in your own world where y'all think that y'all just so powerful. And you women are powerful, but not. If a man is who he is when you meet him, why would you assume that he would just change because you just don't put anything negative past him? Like you just like, okay, cool, you're just a good person. I don't see anything bad with you. That didn't work, did it? Still end up having a double life.
And you're not seeing that bad because you're not looking, which I'm not judging you for because, if he didn't give you a reason, but it's like,
shit, I'm looking. Fuck, that's like getting a job and being like, well, come on in, man. I never knew you to have any criminal history, so I'm not gonna even check to see if you got a criminal history because I don't know you. Why would I check to see if you
looked them up?
Got a criminal history? Like, just come on, work for us. Come on in. We'll have you put you right on the register. Like, come on. Whole time he's been in prison for fraud. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit,
he would steal from us.
Then he steals, and it's like, oh well. I mean, I didn't assume that he would steal, even though his resume said he's a fucking thief. You know what I'm saying? Like see, I can tell you don't conversate with Virgos that much. You feel me? Like Virgos gonna keep it real with you. You a real person, right? But have you ever had somebody in your life that's real as you that have call you out on bullshit too? Cause that'd be the difference. Like I keep people around me that'll call me out on my bullshit at times too. You know what I'm saying? Don't just have people around you that's just agreeing with the shit. Cause then you get online saying and stuff, and it's like, hold on, nah, that's not true. That ain't what you standing on. Nah.
I see why they was going so hard, man.
Right? I see why they going hard because it's like you started off we know what's about to happen. So it's like, how the hell you? I would assume he didn't have a real job either. If you say he living a double life in the story time, and then he don't have a car, he don't get a rental. Like, do he really got a job? Like, who hired him? A security?
Get a flight?
He got a security job. Like, what the hell? What security officer trusted him? Like, what did he do? I'm just curious. What did he do?
And so I'm like, okay, this is too much for me. This is too much for my son. Myself, I went to go drop my son off because it had just become way too much. It did. I called my grandma like, hey, Mario's godmom and godsister is going to come pick him up today anyway. So can he just come over there? Well, I just need to process. I'm overwhelmed. I got a lot going on and I just don't want him to see me crying and all upset like this. So I did pull over and I had to give my baby a hug. I had to give my baby a hug because I felt like, damn, you know, I didn't want him to be going through that. So my son is dropped off. I come back home. My cousin, she had something to do. So I come back home. He's texting me like, hey, you know, can I talk? You know, whatever. And so he comes back to the house so we could talk. At this point, he seems to be calmer, but y'all, he is not calmer. He's still way up there with Jesus. And when I say way up there, way up here, that shit had him in a place. So I'm looking at him, his eyes is bulging. I'm like, this is not the man that, you know, I met. So now I have a full circle deja vu moment. We sat in the bed one day, and a part of our generation, I know our generation uses, you know, stuff to cope so much. And it's kind of normalized in our culture, in our generation period. So he and I were talking way back when, maybe months and months and months ago. And one of the things he told me was, babe, you know, I never want you to see me off perks because I am not myself. Like, I really don't want you to ever see me off of that. And y'all, when I say everything he said he does, this was like a totally different thing. So when I'm asking him that at the time when he said it, and he said that, I'm like, wait, what? And he was like, no, I don't do them now. He was like, this was way back when. This was years and years and years ago, which did my little research. And he is right. You know, it was years ago. He didn't lie about it. I appreciate you for being forthcoming. But now all of that is playing in my head. Like, so you back addicted? Like, you back got a hold on this? Like, what's going on? So again, I'm like, okay, so we're talking, and y'all, he on the same thing. I need to get down there to see my mama. So now this man brings up a rental car. It's one thing, you driving with a licensed driver, it's insurance on my truck, and they pull y'all over, and you just like, man, I'm en route to go get my physical license. Here's my picture. That's one thing. The car is registered to me. That's one phone call. The insurance got my name on it. You good to go. A rental car? Have you lost your mind? No. The answer is no. So now he really on one. I didn't tell him no about my car, and I didn't tell him no about a rental. So now, baby, I am the worst person in the world at this point. He up here, he ain't heard nothing but no. So, baby, it goes up again. When I say he's going off, y'all, he's going off. I mean, arguing and fussing and arguing and going off and all of this other stuff. And I'm just like, what the heck is really going on? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are we doing here? And so at this point now, my wheels are turning. I'm like, it's something else to this. It is something else to this. So I know this probably was not the right time to say it, but at this point, I got to go ahead and say it. Are you cheating on me? Like, is this somebody down here? Is this somebody going with you? Like, why is this such a big thing? Have you promised somebody that this is what you finna do? Because you are too adamant about going down here for an arm surgery and leaving me and your daughter. This is just not making sense to me at all. So, y'all, I done walked away from him completely. I just went downstairs in my closet and I'm just bawling. I am distraught. I am just in a place of like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe this is happening to me right now. And I am just in a place of like, this cannot be real. Like, this cannot be real. This cannot be real. So I go get my son's bag ready for his stuff because I got to go drop it off to my grandmother. And so I'm telling him, like, I'm just finna go drop this stuff off. So he was like, just take me to the rental place. Just take me to the rental place. Take me to the airport. So I'm like, okay, I'll take you, but I'm not renting you a car. And he's like, why? You know it's nobody else? No, I'm not renting you a car. So now he's calling around to other people. He's snapping on them. I need to get to my mama. I need to get to my mama. At this point, everybody knows something is not right. Because what? Like, everybody. He's calling everybody trying to get them to get him a rental. And nobody is able to help him. And nobody's willing to help him because, again, what you're saying is not making sense. Your pregnant baby mama and girlfriend and daughter are here. We don't get it. Nobody is understanding. So I get in the car to drop my son's bag off. And at this point, I just want to be alone. Like, I'll take you, but I just need to ride there. I need some space. I need to think. The man gets in my car, y'all, and tell me he not getting out. I'm like, get out my car. I want to drive by myself. I just need some time. I'm not getting out. Either give me your car or go give me a rental, but I'm not getting out. And I'm looking at him like, What is wrong with you? And now it's really kicking in that this shit is far beyond me. I'm like, do you know who you talking to? Like, what's going on? Like, what's wrong with you? And so then I think he kind of like snapped out of it a little bit and was like, oh, I'm sorry, babe. Because he kept going into those little spurts too. Like, babe, I'm not trying to make you cry. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not trying to do this. But then he's steady going off, y'all. He's going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Like, the man is in a very manic place. And I am in awe. Like, I am emotionally, y'all, I'm 7 months. I'm already hormonal. Everything is already like emotional for me. You know, I'm concerned with my daughter, and now this is just, it's crazy to me. And this her daddy, like her dad, like I am starting to believe like what, like her dad is like this whole other person. Like, it's crazy. So I go ahead, I just take my baby his bag, and I'm like, let me just get this man to this airport, and whatever he do after that, that's just kind of what he do. Because I'm just in a place like, you don't care about me, you don't care about what's going on. Now, in the midst of all of this, y'all, I'm contracting. My back is killing me. And I am one of those women who go into back labor first. Like, I labor in my back a lot. So I tell him, like, my back is hurting. Like, my back is killing me. This is how it was feeling before. He told me, you being dramatic. So now I know for a fact, like, he off something. Like, this is well beyond. And what I do know is that there's somebody else involved triggering and helping him feed this. Because you too invested on trying to get him. So now in my head, the spidey senses that I have as a woman, you didn't promise somebody that you was either coming down there or gonna take them there. Or wherever y'all thought y'all was gonna go. And that shit ain't happening. In my truck, and damn sure ain't in my name. So we riding to the airport. I get him to the airport. He like, you really not gonna give me a rental? No. You really not gonna give me a rental? No. So he did that for about 15 minutes. So then he calls his brother. His brother comes to pick him up from the airport and take him God knows where, I don't know. But at that point, it wasn't even no concern for me. I just got up and I left. Because at this point, you have emotionally just put me through way too much. And I can't even process all this shit right now. I just need to go lay down and figure this out because my back is killing me at this point. Part 10 of Pregnant by a Man Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom. So let's keep it going. So I'm crying on the way home. I'm emotional. I don't understand what's going on. My back is killing me. I'm contracting like crazy. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is too much for me. I cannot do this. I cannot do this. I cannot do this. So I go ahead and I'll just say, you know what? I need to take my butt to the hospital. So at this point, I'm one of those people when I get too emotional and I get too overwhelmed, I like to do stuff by myself. I know that's probably not the best thing, especially pregnant. But at this point, I was just like, this is way too much. I don't even know how to begin to explain this to anybody. Because if you didn't see it, I almost wish I had cameras in my house and following me. This would have been a one day. I really would have wanted to be famous because this shit, I had never seen no shit like this in my life. I was just like, what the hell is going on? So I make it home. At the time, I had on like this one piece. And y'all know one pieces be tight. Everything is tight. My back is killing me. I'm emotional. So I changed. I changed it to a t-shirt and some jogger pants. I packed me a little bag, grabbed one of my little MCM purses and threw like some deodorant, toothbrush. You know, your little essentials in there. Threw my little stuff in there. Threw me a little extra change of clothes. And then everything that was in my purse, I just tossed that motherfuckers in there. Because at that point, I'm just like, I need to get to the hospital. I don't feel well. This ain't right. And I know I'm contracting. So I go ahead and I drive myself to the hospital. Driving myself to the hospital, y'all. Contracting. It was terrible. It was like a 15 to 20 minute ride. At this point, I don't know where he is. And I don't even want to tell him that this is what's going on because I don't even know which way this going to go with him. Like, I don't know if this going to send him into an uproar or what. So I'm just like, no. So I ended up calling my mom and she stayed on the phone with me the whole time. But mind you, my mom is in Michigan, y'all. So now she's on the phone with me, but she's now like, do I need to leave? And I'm trying to tell her like, Ma, in triage, before they like really put you in a room and let you know what they're gonna do. Let's see what they're gonna say, because if they're not gonna keep me, I don't want you to just rush and come out here. I should at least be okay for that. But my mama is really not having it. She still left. So her and my bonus dad are on the phone with me. They stayed up. I'm talking about the whole drive. When I got to the hospital, she like, keep your AirPods in. Don't you hang up. My mom is not that mom. Like when I say when she's invested and she's just like in a place of, I don't know what to do. And let me just say this early disclaimer. Me and my brother are my mom's only two kids. My brother died in a very tragic accident. So everything that now happens with me and my kids, my mom becomes super, super, super protective. But as a mom, I do understand where she was coming from. And when I say my mama was not playing, y'all, she wasn't playing no games. So I get to the hospital. I'm crying. I'm all emotional. I'm there. Again, all of this stuff didn't just happen to me. And I'm in labor. Y'all, it was crazy. Get in the hospital. The lady is like, do you think you having a baby? She said, do you feel like you need to push? Did your water bag broke? And I'm like, no, my water bag didn't break. My mucus plug didn't fall out, but I'm definitely contracting. I've been in preterm labor before, so I know how this feels. Like, this is not right. They immediately rushed me to the back, so on and so forth. So I'm like, okay, how can I let him know what's going on without letting him know what's going on? So at this point, I'm like, let me focus on me, let them get me comfortable, and then I'll focus on, letting the people that need to know. But at this point, I didn't even want to be bothered with nobody. I was just talking to my mom, and I felt like that shit was enough. So they got me to OB triage. The nurse was really, really nice. She's just like, what's wrong? And I was just kind of basically telling her, like, girl, it's just too much. Just emotions. And she was like, well, I need you to try your best to calm down. I don't know what's going on, and I don't want to intrude, but I do want you to calm down. They get me on the machine. Sure enough, who's contracting again every 3 to 5 minutes. And I mean, they are coming, y'all. They are coming. Now, at this point, I'm like maybe 34 weeks. So again, we ain't as bad as the 32, but we're still very early. And again, my daughter is not that big. So they went ahead, did an ultrasound, and she's now 4 pounds, 8 ounces. Not your ideal baby weight, but again, it is bigger than where she was the first time. And so they're like, okay, if she does come, she will have to stay in the NICU, but it won't be that bad. She wouldn't be fighting as hard as she would have been fighting the first time. So that did give me a little bit of security. But again, I'm just like, I shouldn't even be here. Like, all of this stress, all of this nonsense then sent me in here. And I know that's what sent me in here. But again, I'm just like, wow, this is so crazy. Like, I don't even understand which way to go with this right now. Let me just try to just calm down. So they get me up there. I'm on the machines. I'm on the monitor. They done gave me an IV. They done gave me some medicine to start trying to stop her. And she's not trying to stop, y'all. So she's not trying to stop. And now I'm really emotional. I'm here by myself. I done argued with her dad damn near all day. And then, nobody's here, so I text my sister. Of course, she's grieving. So I kind of knew that was what was going to happen. I text my cousin. She was out. She did come up to the hospital. But again, she got her guy with her. So, I really ain't trying to be bothered with like all of that. And I'm not trying to intrude on them either, because they got a life. I'm not their responsibility, essentially. And then, of course, my god sister, she's dealing with stuff with her own dad. So nobody responded for real but my cousin. She did come up there for a few minutes, but they end up falling asleep in the waiting room. So at this point, I am feeling super, super alone. So I did my due diligence. Once they got me on the machines, I had taken a nap a little bit, kind of tried to like sleep some of this off, but I always let her godmother know, and he typically always lets her godfather know. So I reached out to her godmother and told her, because I knew eventually once she got up, she would see it. And then I reached out to her godfather and I just told him, like, I'm not really in the talking place with her dad, but I just wanted to let you know this is what's going on. And at the time, they had started to see some things developmentally that they weren't in particularly okay with. But again, they were trying to like keep me calm. So the first thing was stopping the labor. So they did explain to me that my baby does have an arrhythmia, which is an irregular heartbeat. So her heart will beat boop, 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 stop, boop, 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 stop, boop, boop, boop. And I could be being dramatic on how the stops go, but she has an arrhythmia. So that's one thing. They're concerned with her breathing. The other thing was they told me that they saw something with her kidneys, but they weren't able to really tell me exactly in detail what it was. But I had a doctor's appointment coming up that week. So I knew eventually I was going to get all of that solved and figured out. So fast forward, I'm let out the hospital. I updated those who needed to be updated. Not sure who told him, how he figured out. Don't really care. I end up getting a call from a random number because he's blocked. I had blocked him from my phone. I was just like, this was too much. He calls from a random number like, so, hey, I heard you was in the hospital. I immediately clicked. I'm like, excuse me, number one, your approach was just completely just, And then what do you mean you heard I was in the hospital? Not, are you home? Where are you at? Is my baby okay? Are you okay? Can I come see y'all? None of that. He still sounds very much up there with Jesus, y'all. He is not still himself. And you can hear it on the phone. He's slurring his words like he has nothing. It's just there. So I'm sitting there and I'm just contemplating. I'm like, I'm at home and I'm just crying. I'm just super, super just distraught. Like, what the heck is going on? Like, what would make him start back using this? What would make him, go into this? Like, it was so many questions. But again, I'm 7 months pregnant. So I'm trying to figure all this out and figure my emotions out. And then I still have 2 kids. So I'm like, I got to make sure my boys are okay. At the same time, I got to make sure I'm okay. So my mom is finally here, baby. She got there. And the minute I got home, she was meeting me at my house. My mama was not playing. Part 11 of Pregnant by a Man, Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom. So let's keep it going. So fast forward, my mom has come to talk to me. Everybody is now responding. It's, the next day and I don't want to talk to him. I did talk a little bit to his best friend, which is my daughter's godfather. And I just told him like, something is not right. Something not sitting right. And I just don't like what I'm feeling. I'm not stupid. And at this point, I know it's something else. I know it's something else. I know it's somebody else. And whatever is going on, you need to tell me. And so when I asked him, like I said, I know that probably wasn't the best time to ask him when he was just up here and shit. He was up there and stayed up there for hell, God knows how long. And he kept saying, no, why would I be cheating on you? You my pregnant girlfriend, just trying to make me think I'm crazy. But I know I'm not crazy. Like, you ain't acting like this over just nothing. And again, the stuff that you're ingesting in your body to make you get here is literally not helping that. So now we're going to fast forward to, I've been out of preterm labor for a while. Things are like very much abnormal. He and I are barely talking. It's like text messages, but it's not for real text messages. He texting from random numbers. And then, I unblocked him and finally said my little piece. And then I'll block him back. He'll text from another number. Like, it was a whole bunch of back and forth. Again, I'm sitting here 7.5 months pregnant. All of this, he still ain't came to the house to see us. None of this stuff. So we done got to Mother's Day. He's texting everybody, how's she doing? Where's Maya? Da, 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 da. She won't talk to me. She won't respond to me. So I go to drop my kids off one morning, and lo and behold, I told y'all he's on parole. Who's at my door? The parole officer. He's ringing the doorbell, and I see him on the camera. So I'm like, okay. So I immediately call one of his family members, and I'm like, hey, I don't know where he is. Come to find out, he had gone to go see his mom. Mind you, he never told me he left. He just left. So he had been asking people, I guess, to help him get back or whatever the case may be. He made a real dumb, impulsive decision to leave and then didn't have the resources to get back or however it was. And again, it wasn't my issue because at this point, I'm just like, none of this shit is making sense. And you're still up here. Everybody that talks to him, he's slurring words. He can't format right. Everybody that have a conversation with him is like, he's not normal. He doesn't sound right at all. So at this point, I don't want to hear from him. I just don't. Do I love him at this point? Absolutely. Do I want him to get himself together? Absolutely. But whatever he's fighting right now, these are some things that I couldn't help him fight. And I'm slowly starting to see that, because if you're using those type of things to cope, this is why your mindset is where it is. And whoever is around you is making you feel like that's the way to cope. And we clearly know that this is not the way to cope. Like, you're an adult. You too old. Now, am I saying is he having this crisis and maybe the timing is messed up? Yes, I am. I'm very much saying like, okay, this is a hell of a time to be having a crisis. But at the same time, I also do understand that, men have this ego thing and men want to feel like they are wanted. And as a woman, I call myself making him feel like that. Yes, he was struggling with.
Oh, that's no.
How are you making him feel like he's wanted if you're blocking his number, not telling him what's going on with the baby? Then you're sitting here like, oh, he keeps hitting me up from all these numbers. He has no choice. And then you're like, well, why didn't he tell me he was going to see his mama? How?
And up until this point, we have yet to get the double life. We have yet to understand why you even treat him this way, other than the fact that you assume that he's on drugs. That's pretty much what she's saying. The highest Jesus thing. If you ain't keeping up with that by now, saying that he's always high on drugs. So it's like.
And I was gonna say, and that's the thing too. If someone's openly telling you that they used to be, taking drugs, sometimes people can go back and relapse.
It's addiction. Addiction is serious, and she's like, this is, I know it's just inconvenient that, yeah. And then what that shows a man in those moments is that you ain't gonna hold me down. So you want me to take you serious, put my mama on the back burner, put my things, my job, my money on the back burner to be there with you all the time. And I tell my brothers all the time, man, it's like when you are having children, like, I won't go too much into people's business, but it's like if you feel like you got to take off work to be with a woman all day because it's her first child or whatever the case may be, and she feel like she needs you there all the time, that's only going to fuck it up for y'all in the long term. And it did. And I try to warn men all the time. It's like you gotta have money when these children. You gotta provide. We providers at the end of the day. Do you think we like this shit? No, we would love to be with the women we have children with all damn day. And I know the situation we have now, this is a blessing. God has definitely blessed our life, with this opportunity to be on social media and have this type of audience. And thank you all for supporting our channels and supporting our work, because that's the only way this can happen. I'm not saying it's impossible, because clearly we're living proof that you can be with your spouse or your partner all day, so you just can't expect that though. When you pregnant, you gotta have some type of, you gotta be a little bit considerate. Because and I'm not giving men excuses to cheat or to leave a woman, but this will make a person relapse or just be done with this person. You see, now you're starting to see why you should have did that resume check on him. It's not just because, oh, I don't want him to feel like I don't trust him, but you got to think about yourself, because you could have avoided this. A man who don't take care of his children ain't gonna take care of nobody kids. I would never be happy to have somebody in my house, woman or man, who don't take care of their fucking kids and think that, oh, they gonna just be around my kids, loving my kids. Like, no, we about to learn very soon why he don't be around his other child. And it could be because of those drugs you're talking about. It ain't just because he went to prison. That's not the whole point. The point is what he went to prison for and how he was before he went to prison. Conversations will help. I know sometimes reaching out to the baby mama is crazy, but if they trying to help you, you should extend that olive branch and let people hear it. Because I know sometimes having a supportive family can enable you in your immediate situation, because you go to your family so much y'all don't know how to resolve stuff with each other. So and I say this because you're still pregnant. You know what I mean? So this story time is fresh as shit. This just happened. So it's like you've already shown us that, stability ain't a thing. How long did it take for y'all to get to this point that you're pregnant and he's gone? We didn't heard about a trucker. We didn't heard about a man you were married to, all within the same frame. And we never got the time frames of that, but it's like the stability, So I don't know. That's just how I feel. That's how I feel. I mean, I'm losing plot with this, but to me, I just feel like the reason, it should be both ways. I feel like she's expecting a lot from him, but not giving that same energy when it comes to his needs. It's like, oh, fill my needs, do what I need to do. But then everything else you got going on, I need you to put that on pause, because that's what real men do. And it's like, no, men want to feel needed, and we want to fulfill that role too. We're not just trying to feel needed and not be doing nothing. So if I'm trying to get more money or do whatever I need to do to provide for us, then you got to be there for that. You got to support that just like you want me to support you. And if I'm going through an addiction and you saying we won and we a union and we a covenant, you better hold me down in those moments. You know what I'm saying? Because you expect me to do that for you. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong. You got all the support in the world. So even if wasn't there in that moment, would that make him a bad father? Like, come on now. A lot of men miss their kids being born due to work. Something stops it. Not every man can be there. I've been there for every last one of them. I know that sounds crazy to say and then say that after that, but it's true. It was a blessing. I was able to be there for my children being born. But would it have made me a bad father if I didn't? If I came after you pushed? So it's just like you got to be considerate when it comes to that. It's not always about you, the woman. Sometimes it's about us. We're a team, right? And getting to know your partner is a part of being in that team.
Yeah, and I also thought it was very alarming that he never met your kids until he moved in. It's like him not even, reaching that arm out and saying, I would love to meet your boys. I would love to have a bond with them before we take this next step. Not, oh, I want to move in. I want to see you every day. How can he want this future with you without including your boys?
Right. We starting to find out this whole time that he was just surviving. He wasn't trying to be in a relationship. He was just surviving at that point.
With keeping, like a job that had good benefits and great pay, but you had a job, and that's what I was looking at. You were able to provide the things that I was asking you. We started dating. All of these things I had well before you. So for you to think in your mind that the expectation was for you to come in and take care of my lifestyle, that was never going to be. I never had that in my head. And I don't expect no man to take care of me. Once you're in the position that you can, that's one thing. But I knew, just like you knew, that was not going to be the case in this. And I was okay with being a team player. We was going to do this thing together. I don't always have it either, but I know how to make sure my bills are paid, my kids are taken care of, and how to manage. Those are things you still got to work on, and it takes time. It's a process. So moving forward, he's telling everybody this. So he then came and went, I guess he got back or whatever. And so, like I said, I made one of his family members aware that the PO had came to my house. I did not say nothing to this man. I did not do nothing. I just saw him on the camera. So I sent the footage to him and I was like, I don't know what message you got, but I never said anything to your PO, and no one ever said that you were going to jail. I said if you missed court for a current thing that you had to deal with, then they were going to issue a warrant, which is true. Nothing about that is a lie. So now he's like going off because he's like, oh, she gonna send me to jail, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, that's not what was happening. And I don't know who lied to you. But that's what happens when you say stuff to family. So now at this point, I'm pissed because I'm like, okay, people playing roles in this, and I don't like that either. So moving forward, he has whatever conversation he needs to have with his parole officer. They come to an agreement on a day. So he tells me and my sister, like, hey, I'll be here on Tuesday to go ahead and see my PO. And that's exactly what he did. So he pulls up on Tuesday morning at about, I say like 9 o'clock. And he pulls up in a white car, a little white Altima. Y'all, I drive a 2017 Benz GLE 350 4MATIC. He pulls up in a 2001 Nissan Altima with an infant car seat in the back seat. One thing for sure and two things for certain, I look at everything. So now I want to see how this is going to play out. So I didn't mention anything about the car. I didn't say anything. He came to the house. I'm on my way out the door to go get my son something from the store, and he's on the porch. So when I'm looking at him, he does not look normal. He looks very sad. He looks very just out of it. Like he just looks drained. I have been crying. I have been hurting, kind of just back and forth in pain. And so my kids are like, Mom, we want you to stop crying. But at this point, like my emotions are everywhere. So he comes in the house and he's like, where were you finna go? I tell him where I was finna go. He was like, nah, I'll go get it. So he goes to go get it. He comes back to the house and he was like, we need to have a conversation. I'm like, okay, go ahead. Let's have a conversation. So he tells me, my PO is getting ready to pull up. I need to go out there, have a conversation with him, so on and so forth. So before his PO gets here, he's talking to me. He's apologizing. He's telling me, I'm making decisions that got you feeling like, I don't care about you and my baby. And I'm just telling him like, yeah, you are. Like you clearly are. Like I was in preterm labor over a week ago. You're just now coming here. You told me when I told you I was in preterm labor or that my back was hurting that I was being dramatic. So a lot of this is not making sense. Help me understand what's going on. What is it that's going on in your head right now? Because nothing is making sense. So before we get into like the details of our conversation, his PO does pull up. He goes talk to his PO. He come back and he just comes back in. But now he's like crying. Like when we talking, he's crying. Part 12 of Pregnant by a Man Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already hit with the boss mom. Let's keep it going. So I'm looking at him. He's definitely not normal. He's definitely not in his right mind. And at this point, I don't even think he's here. I just think now emotions have really got to the best of him because he's been doing this all this time. So now he's come down and reality is kicking in on what his reality is. And things are just kind of crazy. So he's crying and just saying, like, I just don't feel like a man. I don't feel like I'm doing enough and this, and that. So I'm asking him, like, where is this coming from? Because this got to be you telling you that because I'm not telling you that. So he's going on and on and on about, no, it's not you. It's not nothing that you are doing. It's just me. I just feel like I'm not doing enough. I always have to ask you, if you can help me with this. Once I do what I have to do, it's always a situation of, oh, I got to still come back to you and ask you for stuff. And I said, look, I'm not complaining about you asking me for anything because at the end of the day, I don't feel like I'm enabling you. I feel like I'm helping you. If I'm showing you the way to do it, I'm not sitting up saying, okay, you can live like this forever. I'm trying to help you get yourself into a position where you can do things on your own and be that independent man. But that takes time. Let's remember, you were just incarcerated. So it's not that easy to just boom, jump back in the field and you just bam, getting on your feet. Like nobody's around here rich to my understanding. So shit, we gotta work. Mind y'all, life been lifing for everybody. It ain't just him. Shit, it was for me too. Shit, I was figuring out at one point in time, like, damn, how I'm gonna pay for this, and this, and we got a new baby on the way. But guess what? One thing about it, and two things for sure, I'm not gonna give up. We grown. We made this baby. We knew what we was doing. And again, we wanted a family. So guess what? You gotta make some sacrifices, nigga. We gotta get in the field. We gonna have to do this. It's okay. So I'm, continuing to tell him like, I don't understand this. Like, it's still not making sense because again, you saying you want your independence. You want to be able to do this. You want to be able to do that. But in my head, what I'm feeling like is you really want to be out here in these streets and you don't want to have the responsibility, but you want the lifestyle of having your own, but not actually doing what it takes to be on your own. And then you don't want the accountability piece of actually being a part of a family and running a household. So nigga, you don't have no structure. So I failed to mention to you all prior to, but let me just quick disclaimer. Come to find out all of the dramatics that he was doing about, oh, my mom needs me and my mom, da, 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 da. She did call and ask. Don't get me wrong. I definitely felt like that was inconsiderate. She should have never did that. However, he used that as a crutch. She never made it to be as dramatic as he made it to be. He sat there and he lied. He went above and beyond. So we sitting there talking and I'm just telling him like, you really have to get your mind together. I think you need some therapy. Maybe let's look for you a counselor because at this point, like these feelings are not normal. The way you're choosing to cope is not normal and how you living is not normal. So I go into where you been staying at. He tells me he's staying at his friend Gotti house, who's a guy who has a baby. So now I guess he called himself justifying the car seat that's in the car. Never did I ask about the car seat, but y'all just remember that. So now I'm like, okay, whatever. So he has court the next day for a situation that he has to deal with. And so I'm like, okay, something in my heart tell me like he not gonna get up on time, he not gonna be there, so on and so forth. So I still got this soft spot for him, but I'm still like, something ain't right. And my senses are going crazy. I got my friends looking up other stuff. But again, I'm still like, okay, let me see how this finna play out, because I know I'm not crazy. I just know I'm not crazy. So Wednesday comes, we get up. I'm texting him. I'm like, dude, you need to get up. Da 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 da. He's not responding to me. He's not responding to his mom. Nobody. He's not responding to nobody. He's sleep cold. So what was he doing, y'all? Back here. Back here. So I go to court. They had me in the wrong courtroom for about an hour, hour and a half. He finally gets up. He makes it out here. He's driving this same white car. And so we get out there, we go to the right courtroom, and immediately, he's just kind of paranoid. He was like, they offered me a year. I'm like, what? A year? He was like, yeah, a year. And so in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want him to go to jail, like da 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 da. So the attorney comes over, she's talking to him. She's like, no, I'm not going to have you, do a year. I'm going to try to finesse that. Let's try to work on it. He called a blessing because number one, he was late. Court date was at 9:30. Well, the time he was supposed to be there was at 9:30. He had some super, super sweet judge. She was somebody's civil rights mama who just don't want to see men go to jail, who don't want to see their men throw their life away. And she literally was like, okay, so what are you asking me? So pretrial services is what he got. So basically, instead of him being locked up, again, he's still fighting this case. Instead of him being locked up, guess what he's doing? He's now on house arrest. So I'm like, okay. So in my head, I'm like, okay, this might be good for him. I know house arrest is probably not ideal, but if you working, go to work, come home. You don't have nothing else better to do, because now you can't be in the streets. You can't be doing anything to get yourself in a bad place. You moving fast and coping real stupid. So this may help you. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, maybe this gonna get him on the right track. But boy, was I fucking wrong. So I'm going to drop the text messages of how crazy all of this is, because whole time they tell him like, oh, you're going to have to call and they're going to have to come put the ban on, blah, 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 blah. Now, a lot of the stuff that he's saying in these messages do not make sense, y'all. So don't try to make sense of it. Just know that I'm not slow. So when he's telling me all of this and he's feeding me all of this, I'm just listening like, okay, so he's telling me, oh yeah, they're going to come to my job probably, or maybe they'll come to the house. I don't know, but I'm going to call so they could go ahead and come put the ban on, so on and so forth, right? So this is what happens from there. So at this point, what he's explaining in the messages, as y'all can see, it just don't make sense. And if you're a person that knows the law and you're a person that knows how this stuff goes, down, 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 downhill. Now it's the question of, so where are you? And where did they come put this ban on? And are you really working, right? Part 13 of Pregnant by a Man Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom, so let's keep going. So everything that I know in my head to be true is true. But again, I'm not saying nothing. I'm keeping it cool because at the end of the day, like, you can't make nobody tell you the truth. You just have to now start to put it together so that you know what you thinking is what it is and you not crazy. And that was just the place I was in. I knew I was not crazy. Like, I knew what I knew. So moving forward, it's the next day, Thursday. We now have a doctor's appointment. He knows that we have a doctor's appointment. And so I go ahead and I text him. So as you all can see, he's playing a role with me, trying to turn it back on me and then just try to clean it up. Nah. Keep that same energy. You didn't say you loved me when I originally called you at 2 in the morning to check on you. Mind y'all, he's been telling me he's going to work. But we now know that may or may not be true. That's questionable. So we go to the doctor's appointment. Now, I'm there before him, as y'all saw from the text messages. He arrived a little bit after me. I don't know what car he got out of. And I honestly wasn't looking. I was in my phone editing my videos because that's usually just what I do. So I see him walk in. He walks in. He sits down. We get to talking. It's kind of normal. I'm not going to say it's regular, but it's kind of normal. I update him on baby girl because he was not at the last ultrasound. And then we go ahead and get called to the back. So we meet with the midwife. She's checking on us, make sure everything's okay. She's asking me, how I'm feeling, talking to him. Everybody's, actually communicating in the appointment. He participating, so on and so forth. So now the appointment is over. We walking out. We scheduled the next appointment. So he does know when the next appointment is. And so, like I said, we walk out. He walks me to my car, gave me a kiss, gave me a hug. I love you. This going to be over soon. Same shit he did the day before. But again, I don't know how he got there. So I get in my truck. I drive to the entry and exit way of the parking lot. And he's standing there, but he got his phone in his hand. So I'm guessing he's calling his ride. So in true Maya form, I'm like, you okay? You good? He's standing there with his phone. He like, yeah, my Uber on their way. Now, of course, y'all know I cannot see that shit from my car. He's standing outside the car. But he's like, yeah, my Uber on the way. It's like a transportation service with the job. The job take $15 a day out of our check for this. Okay. So I pull off. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, so on and so forth. So I tell him, like, I'll let you know when I get home. So as we're texting before I get home, he lets me know that his phone is finna die. Now, this is where stuff gets real interesting because we are literally texting and now everything is just finna blow the fuck up. Because now it's like he all over the place trying to play mind games with me via text message. But then I'm trying to understand what it is. And whole time it's just like a manipulation tactic. Like he's really just going back and forth with me trying to play on my brain until he just can't do it no more. And at this point, I still think he's way up there with Jesus because that's how he ended up getting caught the way he did. Because at that point now, you can't go nowhere and you just fucked up and said the wrong thing. So now, shit, it's out there now. So now he done messed up. He done said the wrong thing because, remember, per the text message, he had just made it to work. And then you just woke up. I don't know no job that let you sleep for no 2-3 hours. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I don't know no job that let you do that. So now, I know everything that I said it was, it is. Now, be mindful. He has told me that he's not cheating. I looked him in the face, not one time, but 2 times, and asked him, was he cheating? And he told me no. And then proceeds to text me and basically say because I don't want to be with you, that is somebody else. Yeah, that's random as hell out of nowhere for somebody who ain't do nothing to you. So now I'm in a pickle because I'm at a place like Dig, like I just got broke up with. I don't know what the heck is going on. My feelings is kind of all over the place. So like in a way I'm mad, but in a way I'm sad, but in a way I'm like curious. I got a whole lot of emotions going on at this point because I'm just like, what? Now, one thing about God, he works in mysterious ways. When you need to know the answer to something, he's going to give it to you, whether you want it or not. And I did not want this answer. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I wanted to stay in denial. I didn't want this answer. So randomly, I get a text from one of my friends saying, hey, ain't this your baby daddy? Ain't this your boyfriend? And it's his Instagram. She sends a screenshot of him and a female hugging on his Instagram story. I thought you weren't cheating. So now I'm like on 10 because I'm like, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. But again, I'm like, okay, I got to figure this out because what the fuck? And when I say figure this out, not figure out so much as to who she is, but what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with you at this point? Because, huh? So, my friends is my friends. They do not play. They gonna get it done. So, of course, they found her page. They sent it to me. So we all looking at it. I had activated my Instagram back. I'm not gonna lie. I activated my Instagram back because I'm like, what? So I'm looking at the story, and it's like every story that's being posted is a shot towards me. Literally. Every story that's being posted is a shot at me. So he knows that I know that he's cheating at this point because I've had prior conversations with other people that day. I'm on 10. I'm going off because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you could have just told a motherfucker you didn't want to be with a motherfucker, but to go this far, like, what we doing? And that shit embarrassing as hell to come to my motherfucking phone. Like, for real? So I'm going to show y'all a message that I sent him well before now, which made me knew that he was cheating. And I gave him a hint that I knew he was cheating. And he still didn't even take the hint to be like, okay, let me tell her the truth. Like nothing. He just didn't care. So I know me. I know I am not the girl who put my booty on the, internet. I know I'm not the girl who always twerking. I'm not always the fun girl. I be about my business. I do enjoy myself. I do be out, but I be on my business and I be about my kids, and when you have a lot of transitions go on in your life, you kind of limit what you do. So as I'm looking, I'm just like, wow, I'm a little like appalled because I'm like, Dig, for you to be feeding me all of this BS of what you don't like and what you don't want. You don't like all the big baby hairs and the frontals and all the ghetto stuff, but that is the total opposite of what you saying you don't like. So what are we really talking about here? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I went to look at this page, I thought that this young lady was gonna be just cold. And when I say cold, I mean like body cold, got her business and stuff on point. Like this girl gotta be an upgrade for you to be going so far doing what you doing. It gotta be like it's something. I'm like, okay. At this point I'm just clueless because I'm like, this not real. This can't be it.
He went and found another woman that's just gonna say yes.
Yeah.
He already told you up front, I don't like want to have to keep asking you. And the way that you like want him at home, and a lot of people do need someone like this that's gonna help guide them, but they don't need another mama. And it's just maybe it's how you saying it, and he probably feel less of a man because you taking care of majority of the stuff, and you saying, I don't need you to do all this. And he's like, well, what's left for me to do? But
Right.
I did want to add that well, I think he didn't tell you he was cheating. First of all, because his PO is going to your house. He needs you on his side at this moment. And as soon as he was done using you, which is when he got a house arrest and he had to ghost give somebody else a different address, that's when he didn't need you no more. And it's like he took advantage of
Right.
that. You're a genuine person. I hope you continue to be a genuine person. But
Right.
people see that, and some people will just take advantage of that. And he was one of those people. You're wondering why he switched up. It's because he no longer needed you. And it's like when you help somebody out and you tell them yes, yes, yes. That one time you tell them no, now you're about to see a whole nother side of them. Because it's like,
Right.
what? I didn't know you was like that. I ain't know you gonna stand on business. But he's really just showing you exactly who he is.
What are y'all thoughts about this, messy family? I think I'm just out of words at this point. It's just like I feel like honestly, if you ask me, if you want to know what I think from a man perspective of this part right here, I feel like he just got another woman, started comparing you to her, and that's why he started having conversations with you. It was almost like the warning before the storm. You haven't said he cheated just yet, or you ain't had proof of him cheating. So I'm assuming he did not cheat with you yet, but he could have been emotionally cheating. Just somebody in his ear constantly saying like, "Yeah, I wouldn't treat you that way." And it happens for men too. I know women don't believe that at times. Like it's just men and women ears, but women being men ears talking like that all the time. Like, oh, you can do better than this. I wouldn't be sweating you. And a man hearing that and then going home and hearing somebody like, you don't ever do this, you don't ever do that. And it's just like, damn, it's like, at least he tried to have a conversation, you know? And at that point, he already met somebody. But I'm not saying what he did was right. Because at the end of the day, you having a kid, you gotta step up, man. These are a little emotional ass shit that we talking about. It's like this could have easily just been handled. He's crying like a baby in all the messages about you this and he just pity seeking. And as a man, I can say that. It's just like, dude, strengthen up, shut the fuck up, get up, go to fucking work, figure out what you need to do. If it, you know what I'm saying, you gonna have a harder life. You already knew that when you got out of prison, but when you got out, you said you ain't care. You was gonna get it done. You was gonna make it happen. So make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of men are just filled with estrogen nowadays. Everybody want to fucking cry. Nobody wants to get up and actually go do some shit. And I get where she's coming from. But as a woman saying it to a man, it could be like very hard to hear, especially for men who make 1,000 fucking excuses like he did in those messages. God damn. Every message is just, oh, I feel fat face, or oh, I just feel like, I should be somewhere. And I feel where you're coming from, but nigga, get the fuck up. Like, you got to get up and start doing shit. And if you faking like you got a job and you don't have a job, nigga, that's why you sitting here crying in this text, man. This is how men would talk. That's how I talk to men. You know what I'm saying? I would just say this to a man. A man needs to hear it from another man at times. They ain't trying to hear a woman tell them this stuff. I know it sounds crazy and cliche because y'all love them more than I do. But I'll still be real enough to tell them, like, yeah, dude, you just bitching. You know what I'm saying? I get where she's coming from. I get where she's coming from in a sense. But I just always want to tell people, like, it goes both ways at the end of the day. If you're not fulfilling my needs, it's a team effort, and it ain't only a team effort when it's evolving whatever you need. When I need something, you better be there for me just as much. And it's not just let me parole to your house, I mean, don't get me wrong. That was a very kind gesture of you to allow him to parole to your house. You allowing the parole officer and whoever, the police officer, because I've allowed somebody like family members to parole to my shit. I said never fucking again, because you gotta allow these parole people to come in your house once a month, look at your shit, make sure ain't no weapons in here, make sure ain't no other any things in here, and you can't even have a weapon even if you got the rights to. So that was my hell no to it. It's like, hell nah, brother, you gotta go somewhere else, my guy. But I get it. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you're giving him a lot. Y'all just moving so damn fast. And I know you ain't want to hear that in the beginning, but y'all are. Y'all moving super fast for people with kids. I can see why he's doing it. He's surviving. And we always knew he was surviving because he just got out of prison. But, when you don't judge people based off of what they've been through, it's kind of hard for you to understand that in the beginning. So you just going through it and you feeling now you got experience. You had to learn the hard way. I refuse to learn the hard way. Shit, I'm gonna have the real questions with people before I sit here and just try to wait to see if they trigger back into that situation. I want to know how the hell, what have you done to show that you actually are learning from your past mistakes? You know what I'm saying? Like simple shit like that with me.
And another reason why I think they got together though is because neither of y'all had y'all ducks in a row. You still had, the truck driver dude going around. He still had his stuff at another woman's house. So it's kind of like we can't judge each other. We both got shit going on. So let's just jump into
And that'd be
it.
the real reason why most people don't look into their partner's past, because they don't want them to, like I said earlier, they just don't want you to dig into their past. I'm gonna dig. Go ahead, you can open the book to my fucking past. It ain't nothing to hide, man. You know what I'm saying? But when you got shit to hide, you tend not to look. That's just how I think.
This? Oh, hell no. Part 14 of Pregnant by a Man Living a Double Life. Now, I had to remake this video, y'all, because TikTok deleted it. I don't know if somebody reported it. I don't know what happened, and I don't even care. Like, it is what it is. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom, so let's get right back into it. Now, this one is going to be shorter because it's a little bit paraphrased, but I'm going to make a small disclaimer up in here as well because people clearly don't know the definition of defamation of character and slander. So we going to make sure that we have those definitions present. So now I see who this young lady is, and I'm like, okay, this is who he's dealing with. And again, that was something you brought her in. I didn't know nothing. I was sent these messages. I was told about you and this girl's relationship. I didn't know anything. So for you or her to be upset with me for finding out how y'all was moving is insane. So for anyone to be upset with me and all, bent out of shape, that can't even be because, again, I didn't know this young lady. I didn't know nothing about this girl. I was sent these pictures. And even then, I wasn't even sent her social media. I went through his social media and typed in the name that he told me and found out who she was. It had nothing to do with that. Someone sent me a picture and I did my own research. I openly admitted and said that I activated my Instagram back for that day. And then in 7 days, I deactivated my stuff back. So how was I doing anything or saying anything? You can't show one post of me making a comment towards you or her. You cannot pull up one post of me making anything about either of them because they don't exist. Absolutely, once I found out who you were and I looked at your story, of course you're going to see my name in your story. But how did you know that was my name? Wait. How did you know that was my name? How did you know that was my friends' names? Because he's sitting there telling you that's who that person is. That's who that person is. Block this person. Block that person. Again, it's not on me. It's on this man. Again, he said her name. I never knew her name. We are all females, and let's just talk again as women. If I was on the other foot as a woman, you would go look too. Any female would go look to see who it is. So why is me looking at your story now a reason for you to take shots at me? Me looking at your story and who you was innocent. I didn't comment. I didn't make any posts to say anything about you once I saw it. I literally just looked at it that night. And then my friends continued to look at it and find more and more shots being taken at me. Again, I had never said anything. Nobody can pull up anything, not one post. I didn't start going off and really saying something about anything until after I was very, very clear, and so was my friend, that leave me out of that. Y'all got what y'all got going on. You made your decision. I can continue to show text messages and me saying, you made your decision. You chose what you chose. So again, why is now me looking at your story your reasoning for taking shots? So this is their reasoning, so he say, of why she started taking shots, which again makes no sense. Is no justification for it. Again, the problem is him, not me at all, because I said nothing to you or about you. So y'all see for yourself. He just sat up and explained how this all played out for months. That means y'all been messing around for months, but I didn't know anything about anything up until May. And I have the proof of that. You've played with me as if we were still together in a relationship when you had a whole nother relationship going on with this woman, not me. And then furthermore, because I went and looked at your Instagram story, come on now, be for real. Let's grow up and be adults. Everybody look at everybody's Instagram story. And because I looked at her Instagram story and she saw me in her views, that's a reason to start taking shots at me in social media. That's the justification. Like y'all digging yourself in a deeper hole. That don't even make sense. So because I look at your story, my friends looked at your story. Now that's a reason to take shots at me. Now that's a reason to continue to make it overly known. Oh, that's my man. Oh, I took the man. All of that. That's all necessary for me, a 8-month pregnant woman who ain't said nothing to you, who has not said nothing to you. Even when I called this man, I called him and spoke to him. That's not my fault if he chose to put me on speakerphone. What I had to say was to him. My anger was directed to him. So you directing your anger and antagonizing me to say what? That you got a man? It's not like you got the man fair and square. Y'all hid. Y'all hid and did what y'all did. He lied about everything when it came to you, the vacations, all of this. He couldn't just take you out of town just because that's what he wanted to do. He had to lie to everybody else around him to do that. So again, how is the anger directed towards me? Why are the shots being taken at me? Because again, I didn't say nothing, but because you saw me in your Instagram story views, do you know how many people I see in my views all the time and I don't assume that they're talking about me? Come on now. You only assumed that because you knew you was wrong, just like he knew he was wrong. Get up out of here. So let's look at some definitions, y'all, because I'm just still trying to figure out where any of this applies to this situation. It don't, but okay. Now, I know legalities, and I am very well abrazed on how all of that works. In order for you to sue anybody for defamation of character, you have to, one, be lying. I'm not lying. Number two, you have to then prove that I'm lying. You can't prove that I'm lying because I have the receipts showing that I'm not lying. Number three, you then have to be able to say, when I told this alleged lie, that I knew it was a lie. But again, it has to be a lie. So that still disqualifies you. And then four, it has to stop you from making money. What has stopped you from making money? Nothing. I've stopped nobody. I ain't called nobody jobs. I ain't been up to nobody jobs. I ain't been to nobody cribs. None of that. So again, how you gonna sue me for anything? But again, if that's what you choose to do or choose to go that route, okay. So because now I know who this other young lady is, and because you continue to play in not only my face, but her face as well. Now I can't speak to how you played in her face because I don't know the nature of y'all relationship. I only know what you telling me. And you tried to tell me that this was your friend. That was a guy, number one. And then when I found out it's a girl, now it's, oh, that's my best friend. That's been my best friend for years. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. But if this been your best friend, why I ain't never met her? Why you ain't never brought her up? Because you brought up the other female friend that you had. It was never a problem to talk about her. So again, where she come from? But then let's get to the nature of y'all relationship. Like, really? Really? The nature of y'all relationship don't got nothing to do with me. I never knew about her. Never, ever knew about her. So why is the shots being taken at me? If you with this man, there was no reason for no type of post to be made about, oh, you know, he mad now and forever. I should have did this and that. Or I'm glad I don't have no baby mama, baby daddy. All of that shouldn't have never even been brought up. Because again, what is your issue with me? I was brought into this situation with y'all. If y'all supposedly been knowing each other all these years, why y'all didn't do that then? Why wait till I'm 8 months pregnant? It don't even make sense. So now that the truth is out, you can't do nothing but throw your hands up and wave the white flag. But you trying to save face for you and this young lady. No, ain't no saving face for neither one of y'all. Y'all both was wrong and y'all knew y'all was wrong from jump. Part 15 of Pregnant by a Man Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom. So yeah, here you go. So now my friend like really see, you know, when he said this and when he said that. And boy, when I tell you, the man told me he out of town. He doing this, he doing that. He making sure this is straight for his relative. He making this straight for his relative. Like he's really making me believe that this is what he's doing when he's out of town. Whole time, he on vacation with her. So you didn't lie to me. And again, I'm just very curious as to what you said to her. Because at this point, is she okay with this? Was she okay being the side girl? Was you lying to her at this point in time? Was you in a double relationship? What's going on? Because in my head, what everybody else saw, we was a couple. And that was in March. So what are we talking about? Y'all saw the messages that I don't want to be in a relationship. That came way in May. In March, we were very much in a relationship, very much having sex, very much living together. So when you're telling me you going out of town to go handle this and I'm trusting that's what you're doing, and how are you okay with that knowing that your daughter and me are high risk, we're at home, and you just flat out lying? You just flat out lying and you out of town with this girl for what? That's more important right now. But let's take it a step further. He's on what, y'all? Parole. Is he even supposed to be out of town? Now, these are the messages supposedly when he left to go to California to see his grandma. Now, he telling me, be comfortable. He missing me. He love me. Whole time, y'all, he is out of town with this lady. Whole vacation with a whole nother woman, living a whole nother life. The man is crazy. Like, I don't even understand. And I mean, he really kept this shit up. So after doing a little research, y'all see, like I see, he was not in Cali alone. And we were not broken up. So that's cheating. You living a whole nother life with this girl out in California like I'm not sitting here pregnant with your baby. Strike one. So I told y'all he was texting me like crazy back and forth like it was normal when he was in Cali. Whole time is one thing when you know something. It's another thing when what you know is confirmed. And look who decided to tell on them. Ain't that crazy? So now everything is in question. So now I'm questioning the second trip. Because remember, you told me you had to go stand on business for your child. You done made it seem like you got to do all of this stuff, as it relates to your child and as it relates to custody, when whole time that's not even true. So not only did you lie about the severity of why you had to go out of town the first time, you gonna go out of town a second time with this lady? So these the messages when he went out of town. Again, telling me he got to handle all of this stuff, all of the doggone boarding and everything. Just feeding me a whole bunch of BS while he gone. Whole time he is now on his second vacation with his side girl. And this is really crazy because, once again, who's boasting about it? Who's talking about it? Who's just feeling oh so lovely and VIP? And again, remember he told me that I don't make him feel wanted. I don't make him feel like he doing enough. Do these messages seem like somebody who's telling you that you're bothering them or that you're not doing enough? Like, come on now, dude. Be for real. Then you turned around and you say you needed space. How you need space and you been out of town not once, but now twice with this girl. Then you sending me these pictures and you sending me all this bullshit. Like I'm supposed to continue to be like, okay, well, that's what he's doing. And at the time, I knew that's not what he was doing, but I had to make sure for me that until I had the actual factuals, that I wasn't going to blow that shit. But y'all see, like I see, this shit is crazy. And the man has a whole nother life, a whole nother woman. They are vacationing. He got a whole nother life with no responsibilities, no accountabilities. Baby, I don't even exist in this old life, this other life, okay? Like, it's crazy. I only exist in this other life via his phone.
And this is how you know he was just surviving the entire time. Like, he only, man, these dudes get out of prison. This is why. See, you should have been listening to those commenters. I hope you listen now. I bet you listening now. Shit. This is why people say that. This is what comes with it. Like, he got out of prison. You the first one to catch him. He was the first fish in the sea he saw, and you went. And he got a place to live. And I'm not saying you are nothing. You could have been going through shit, right? You just going through a divorce. You got kids. Yo, I'm not telling where your emotions are at. So you clearly not in the right state of mind to be making decisions, being in a relationship at this point, especially when you already ain't even closed the door in the last relationship. Even though you say you was done, it's still shit at your house. Nigga still live there to be. You know what I'm saying? but he can pop up anytime he want. And then you got husbands popping up, or calling you at a random times at night because he's upset the fact that you got a man in your house. But if the door was closed, and he should be understanding that you're gonna have men in the house,
It
But
was that same trucker dude that called because the sister seen him in the club.
oh, okay. See, it's been 2 hours. I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere with this shit now.
But during those moments, so you set the tone for that. He went through your phone. I think that was just to say, like, okay, well, if I start cheating, let me see if I should really go through with it and if I can live with that. And when he went through your phone and he peeped, like, okay, this how you moving? I'm already using your car. I'm already staying with you. And this how you moving? Bet.
Got tired of that shit.
Bet.
Yep.
But
This how it is though. You get out. He found the woman he wanted to be with. A woman, but she don't got no kids. She said the other girl ain't got no kids.
yes, I'm like that.
Yeah.
The thing is, I can't stand when people be like,
No
well, you
offense.
could have just broke up with me. You could have just told me. But look how you was moving just because he wanted to go see his mama, supposedly. But
Right.
But
Whole
look
time
how
he
you
didn't
was
wanna go
moving.
see
You're
his
not even
mama.
telling him that you could possibly be giving birth. He jumping through hoops to see what's going on with you. And it's like,
Yeah. Some men just don't. They don't accept accountability. I want to know what the fuck he went to prison for, so I can really just make a stamp on the type of guy he truly is. I know people be like, "Oh, you can't judge book by its cover," but that ain't the book. That ain't the book cover. What we judge it. What the fuck? It's the actual actions of the man, not the way he look. I'm not saying that he looks like somebody who be on bullshit. No. What he go to prison for? Because when you get out, man, it's like certain dudes, they just don't wanna. They wanna be responsible, but then when they start failing at that shit, then they got a woman who's like, "Hey, man, you gotta be on your shit. You making him be a man. You damn near teaching him how to be a man, molding this man into a man. I think deep down he wants to be that man, but he's failing. Let's just say that he's failing at it. So instead of just saying I'm gonna keep trying, he just took the easy way out and said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna leave the relationship and go deal with a bird brain who ain't thinking right." If she thinking she won a prize after watching this man not only take care of one child, but obviously she ain't watch him do it, but she know he don't take care of his first child. I'm talking about the new girl, and then he just got you pregnant, and he just left you after 7 months. Like, do you think she's in the right mind state? Like, is she in the right mind state to you? Like, she's going to end up in the same situation. Nobody wins these. This is not a fucking prize. Y'all are fighting, or y'all are going back and forth over a man. I can understand why she thinks you're obsessed with her, because he's probably feeding her negativity about you, saying that you're this type of person, so that way she can get out. She can stop assuming, like, just get the sin off the trail. Like, he don't want y'all to assume that we still fucking around, or you and him still messing around. So he gonna tell her whatever, and then you just so happen to get caught in the story, so it's like, oh yeah, so she is crazy. I think y'all both are just in the middle of a man and his decisions, and it's like y'all going back and forth at each other.
And you know what's so crazy though? He posted them on his IG, and you didn't even have it at that time. So she was probably like, "Well, then post me then if we so exclusive."
Right.
And he thought that you wasn't even
Right.
going to see it.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Right. I mean, I feel bad for the storyteller at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, this woman is pregnant, y'all. She is pregnant.
And definitely don't need any of the stress that he
I
is
don't
bringing
wish
her.
this type of treatment on nobody. I don't believe nobody deserves this. Ain't nothing this woman did to deserve to be treated like. She didn't cheat on him. Yeah, she come with luggage, right? She got kids. She got fucking, baby daddies, and so we all do. Let's be honest, we all do. Some of us do. I know some of y'all been living a perfectly holy life, but a lot of us, we got multiple baby mamas. We got kids. We got shit going on. But it's just how you carry yourself. And it's like, if you mature enough and you realizing, like, you can't raise a man now. That's what you learning in this situation. I know you grown. I'm grown too. But it's sometimes, I know being 31, that every 31-year-old or plus that I've seen, they ain't all mentally there either. Just because you got age don't mean you got wisdom. So you thinking this man about to get out and be just like you is, that's why we are the way we are. We do that to protect ourselves. Am I saying it's right? No, but in most cases, it's probably saved a lot of women a lot of heartache, and a lot of men being this not judgmental, but having discernment over people, like understanding, like, this is a possibility, instead of just saying, well, I don't think he gonna ever cheat on me, or I don't think he ever gonna do nothing. He need me, and I feel like you want it to be needed. Like, you preaching over him, you're feeding life into him with your words. I'm reading the messages, right? I'm seeing that you saying, I love you, you can do this, you got this, and he just feeding into it in the wrong way. Like, he just want to keep being sad and being sad and keep being sad.
Because that's gonna make him think. That's gonna make her think that you're never gonna cheat on me because you need me. Why would you cheat on me if you need me?
Mm-hmm. Like she said, he feels like a man feels like he needs to be wanted. That's how she feels as a woman. I can tell she wants to be needed. Women love fixing people. They love fixing men. Or fixing whoever they with. So it's like, In this situation, you seeing him as a project mentally. That's what I feel like. And you're failing at it. And I think the reason why you failing at the project, I mean, the reason why you ain't letting it go so easy is because you're just so determined to fix this man. You know, you've already been down this road before, I'm sure, with other men. And then it's like, damn, maybe I can fix him. But no, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. All right. After a certain age, who he is who he's going to be for the rest of his life, unless something traumatic happens in his life that makes him want to change. You feel what I'm saying, Messy Family? Some of my older people at. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Let's talk to him a little bit. Talk in the comments. Let me know what y'all think in general, just about the mindset of this.
That's it. That's all. So now I'm like, the audacity, you gonna do it 2 times. So not only do y'all not care about each other, because you don't care about her reputation, how that's gonna look, but she don't care that you have children, your freedom, you steady going out of town. I'm really trying to understand. Like, what? So weeks go on, and now I'm just like, this is crazy. And when I say weeks, maybe like a week or two has gone on, and it's been on my mind to say something, because I'm just like, I just can't believe that this is what's going on. And I know for a fact this is what's going on, because once again, as long as a person confirms it, what else is it? Long and behold, who's bragging again? No, baby, that clear account had a punch on it. And no 4-day trip. Y'all asses got stuck because them flights clipped. So now it's all making sense. You done did some low down dirty stuff. You done lied and lied and lied and lied. Included all these people in these lies. Making people believe that, oh, you having this male mental crisis, and, you need some, just time and space to yourself. And whole time you've been cheating and lying and having a whole nother relationship on the side, going out of town with a girl, and I'm sitting here pregnant with your child. Who fucking does that? Like, I know it's some low shit in the world, but for real? So again, I don't have a Facebook right now. I don't have an Instagram right now. So all of this stuff is being sent to me. And the more stuff being sent to me, the more I question and question and question and question. Now, there's a couple things that I failed to mention because I didn't feel like they were important right then and there. But once again, everything that's done in the dark always comes to the light. Trust me when I say that. So again, remember y'all, this is now the second time he went out of town. But remember, I said he went to go see his mother too. So that's out of town again. Guess who was right there with him? Passenger 57. So now he done went out of town again for the third time. And I'm just like, this is crazy. This man been doing this all this time. And what's so funny is, in the midst of him going out of town the last time when it was time for him to return, I don't know if he thought about the return policy or how that works when you leave and you got to come back. He's around asking other people to assist him with getting a rental car, to assist him with getting back home. Now, what's crazy to me is, if you're going to take her out of town, she at least needs to be an asset to the vacation. Why she can't rent a car? Oh, because you got to be 25. Okay. So that explains why you wanted me to rent you a car when you was saying you was going down to see your mom the first time. That's why. Why she couldn't rent it. You wanted to get out of town with her so bad, because now it's all making sense. Now it's coming out. You was never going by yourself. Because let me just put this on the table. I offered to go with you, your pregnant girlfriend. You made a big deal. Why I can't go with you to your mama house, pregnant with her grandbaby, your baby, and my shit? Make it make sense. Part 16 of Pregnant by a Man Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already hit with the boss mom, so let's get back into it. So now his whole shit blew up. Everything is coming out. all the lies. And I'm not just talking about the few lies that we've covered now. I'm talking about the lies that I even asked about prior to this and I didn't mention. And now everything is all making sense. So we now discovered that Gotti is not a male, it's a female. And whether it's your best friend or not, y'all together. Y'all got a whole little thing going on. And she's made that very clear on social media, and you've allowed her to make that very clear on social media. And let's just talk woman to woman here. Now, I know every woman has their own standards and feel like, oh, I don't owe her no loyalty. And you don't, darling. You don't owe me any loyalty. But you owe yourself the confidence. You owe yourself the dignity, the morale to not do what you're doing. You've known about me the whole time. I knew nothing about you. Literally. You knew about me. You knew that I was pregnant. You knew that when you was going out of town with this man, that he was not only leaving me, but he was leaving his child. What do that say about you? You okay with being a voluntary side woman? So let's even take it a step further. Not only was you cheating with this man, knowing that he was in a relationship, knowing that he got a fresh baby on the way, knowing that he wasn't supposed to be out of town, but then you gonna take it a step further. You was in my motherfucking truck. Oh, y'all thought I didn't know about that? Yeah, I know about that too. Y'all seen me do my makeup on camera. Y'all seen my makeup. I don't wear the long, thick, ghetto lashes. I don't wear that. It's nothing against those who do, but I don't wear that. And y'all know that. He know that. So why the fuck am I finding that type of lash in my motherfucking truck? So I look at this one of two ways. Either you got tired of being a secret and you wanted me to find that lash up in that truck, or he didn't know that you left that lash up in that truck, which now is questioning what the fuck was you doing in my truck?
Not gonna cap, they do be doing that shit. Boy, yeah, they definitely leave them lashes behind, man. Y'all, listen, y'all be safe out there looking at. What? Can I have a past life? Goddamn. What the hell?
Oh,
But
I
I'm just
know.
saying, in general, like, I was a single man at one point. Shit. The hell? I ain't always been locked down. What the fuck? My whole life ain't been locked down, y'all. I was out here Christmas. I was doing Christian mingle though, flat ass. But nah, it happens, and people do shit like that. So them other women don't know how to be in the background, even if you tried it. The fuck, they're not gonna stay in the back. Eventually, they're gonna realize like the same shit she was saying. Oh, the dick is good and none. Yeah, get your ass out that spot. They don't care. They don't care. That man wasn't taking care of his child when he first met you. He told you, and honestly, he was being half honest the whole damn time. So it's like he told you that it was that dude name or that girl was name was Gotti, but she didn't tell you the gender. You know what I'm saying? But that's just playing in the face. That's just playing in motherfucker's face right
I
there. Like
told you.
flat and simple. Like what the fuck? But yeah, that's what you signed up for. I mean, at this point, I mean, I get where she coming from, but it's like, damn, this story getting long. I would
I
have
ain't
left
gonna lie.
motherfuckers a long time ago.
And you guys got to pick who you have kids with. Pregnancy is not easy, and it takes a strong person to stay with someone during that thing. But if you
During
guys are
pregnancy,
both,
yeah.
yeah, if you guys are both agreeing to have a child, you will obviously think that whether there's complications or not, they're going to be there by your side. But this man just wanted to travel. You were saying, you don't want to leave your kids. Thank God,
Yeah.
you're not a deadbeat. But he looking for somebody that's like, nah, let's go, let's do it. Fuck it
Yeah.
if the police on me. Fuck it if you got kids and it's spontaneous.
One was providing that. One was providing stability. The other one was providing,
A good time.
a good time. And I'm not saying what he did was right. And I'm not saying that you should be the like you got kids. You shouldn't be a good time to nobody when you got responsibilities and shit. Clearly, the other girl ain't got shit going on or something.
Yeah, she's younger.
She's younger. You know what I'm saying? Oh, right. And she's younger, so I'm gonna give her grace because she's younger. How old is he? Like, how old are you? Like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, y'all might be younger. I don't fucking know anymore. Shit, y'all just sound like no. Did you say he was like 30? He 31, right? She did say he was 31, and she under 25. Okay. Anywho, yeah, he just looking for a good time, and he found his good time, and she's young and mature. She's still growing up, and she don't realize the shit she's going to be
Yeah, she
going through
doesn't
with this
care
man.
who's getting hurt. She don't
Yeah,
care that you're pregnant. She just wants to go on vacation.
he's spending money. He's spending money you ain't even know he had. And it'd be crazy if it was your money he was spending. He already using your car and shit.
And I'm pretty sure in the beginning he was doing more than just going to work in your car. But you
Man,
let him have your car without even having a title with him. So even if he was doing him in your car, Y'all weren't even clear where y'all stood with each other before
That's
you gave
true.
him that car.
That's true. Don't make it right but y'all understand that talking stage is not a committed stage, right? Y'all do understand the dating stage while you testing him out. He's testing other women out too to see if he want anybody else other than you. It's the dating stage. We like to believe that we all locked in, but even she had like little past situations. I'm not saying she was messing with him, but doors are still open to me. So if I feel like a door open, the door is open. Fuck, I'm not about to be closing all my doors and you got people closing your house. I can't get off of that. You feel me? 'Cause that'd blew me.
Calling you at 1:30.
Like
You ain't got to
1:30 in
worry
the
about me,
morning.
ma'am.
That'll send me into orbit. Like, that's
Don't even
enough for
go
me
through
to
my
call.
shit.
You know what I'm saying? Chill. We just vibing, right? I ain't trying to get in between what y'all got going on. We just here to have a good time. Let's just let it be a good time and let's just move on. I'm not saying it's the moral right thing to do, but that's just where the world's at. That's why you stay. Man, everybody won't find love in this world, and that's the sad part. But that don't mean you need to be out here just dating anybody to figure it out. Some of us got to be alone. Maybe that's just God's plans for us. Maybe not all of us are going to end with somebody right hand to it. My grandma passed away. God rest her soul. By herself all my life. She was married a couple times. She tried it out, and it just didn't work out. She ended up spending the last 20 years of her life alone. But what I would consider alone, because she ain't got a man. But she was fulfilled. She was happy. She had family. She had love, and that's what she had. God, the most important. The most important. So just think of it like that, man. I don't know. Y'all already know I started off this video tired. So the fact that I'm still in it, just thank me. Shit, I guess. I don't know. Something. Give me some grace, not thank me. I don't know what the fuck. See, I'm just scatterbrained.
That you lost the lash. Because see, if he didn't know you left the lash in the truck, then that means that you left it for me to see, or y'all was doing some shit up in that motherfucker y'all wasn't supposed to be doing, and it was dark. And guess what? You couldn't go back and get it or find it. But then another scenario crossed my mind. And hey, all bets is off now because remember, y'all wanted to play this game. Did he tell you that was his truck? I hope that ain't what the fuck he told you, boo. Because it's not. Was he allowed to drive it? Yes. Did I give him freedom, to make sure he was able to go handle the things that he was supposed to handle? Yes. Did he take advantage? Hell yeah. But you as the woman, again, you knew about me. So if this is your best friend, you know everything that's going on and you know that's not his truck. So again, you wanted me to see that? You okay with being the woman on the other side? You okay with being the woman that he degrades and keeps as a secret and got to lie about? The only place he could be seen with you is out of town? Be for real, baby. Be for real. You should have thought more of yourself than that, baby. You supposed to thought you had motion. This shows nothing. Nothing. So let's go back to the lash thing. I asked him about it. My son was the one who found the lash. My youngest son gets in the car. He picks it up and say, "Oh, mommy, here go your lash." Nah, that ain't mommy's, baby. I say, hey, go in the house and tell them, come outside and I'll call you when I'm ready for us to go to the store. So he comes outside. I say, who lashes this? I don't know. Well, it's only two of us in this motherfucker who could drive. So I'm going to ask you again, who lashes this? Babe, I don't know. He goes into the whole defensive thing. I swear to God, I don't know who lash it is, babe. Ain't nobody been in this car. Now, y'all know I am not boo-boo the fool. But again, you hold your information because you'll never tell your right what your left gonna do. Never. Now, this could have happened the same night, or y'all decided y'all was going to rotate and do this shit again. But either way it go, it's coming out. Because guess who gets in my car now? My cousin. We on the way to my sister's dad's funeral. My cousin get in the car like, cousin, I need some perfume. And matter of fact, no, I'm lying. We was on our way to the repast. And she like, cousin, I need some perfume. I'm like, look up in the armrest. I think I got a few body mists and a little lotion up in there. Guess what she finds in the motherfucking armrest? She finds some perfume. I said, that's not mine. She was like, for real? That's not mine. Well, can I have it? Of course you can have it. That shit ain't mine. But now it's a question of whose is it? Now, I never mentioned that to him because, again, now it's going to be a question of if you're going to tell the truth at all. You lied about the lash. So if I bring up some perfume, you're not finna tell me that that's her perfume. But now I know that everything that I knew from the past without having a name, without having a person to attach to, that it was a female involved. So it's at this point that everything is making sense. So now either she's tired of being a secret and now she got to leave stuff for me to see, Or she just flat out to get me and hurt me because of the man. But remember, this is what you signed up for. You knew this man was in a relationship. You knew I was pregnant. I've been pregnant since October, baby. He's been knowing since I was 6 weeks. The man been at every doctor's appointment up until you and him got into this little entanglement situation or whatever y'all call yourself doing. So now we're going to take it a step further. All of the night securities, remember I told y'all, he chose the day where he said, oh, she told me, the she as in the lady who's over the security company, told him that he had to work overnight randomly. Y'all know he didn't work overnight. He actually wasn't working at all. He put me on days and her on days. So he then told me that these the days that he's supposed to work these hours and these the days he's supposed to work these hours. Whole time, you ain't working, motherfucker. You working, but you working something totally motherfucking different. And it ain't no goddamn security job because you ain't securing a motherfucking thing. So I guess he said he gonna take a chance that day. And the night he had to work overnight, he spent the night out at this lady's house. So again, not only do you leave me at home multiple times, pregnant, high risk, not giving a fuck about me, not giving a fuck about your baby, not giving a fuck about this household. But then you gonna take it a step further. You gonna take her out of town and you gonna leave me in the house in town. Nigga, you are wilding the motherfuck out, okay? So let's keep it going. So now we're here. It's all out. I know everything. I know what I know has been true. She knows that I know it's true. He knows that I know it's true. And now it's a catastrophe. Now it's a battle of, oh, she's this bitter baby mama and she just mad that she don't want to be with me. But mind you, he didn't know that I knew all of this stuff. I have been keeping everything a secret. Everything that I wanted to know, it came out and it confirmed itself. So let's take it a step further. I also had to confirm that you remember that Montana trip that he, was supposedly going on to go fight for custody and make sure he had to get all this stuff done for his oldest child and to make sure he was standing on business. Yeah, that was all a lie too. I spoke with very reliable resources. I'm not even going to put them out there. Just know she's not lying on him either, baby. All of that was a lie. And for what? You've gone to the extent of lying on all of your relatives, all these close people to you, dragging all these people in this shit. And I'm talking about for real lying. All for what? When I say I was beyond disgusted, y'all, I was beyond disgusted. I'm just like, really? Really? It was worth that. It was worth that. Okay, y'all, so I don't know why part 17, the sound was off. I'm guessing my video got reported again, which is cool. Y'all know I really don't care. I'm here for it. But part 17 of Pregnant by a Man, Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom, so let's get right back into it again. So let's take things a step further. So now the cat's out the bag. Everything is out so far as to what he thinks I know. And he decides he's going to move out. So he takes all his stuff and he goes and moves with her. Now, I'm not sure if that's in her own place or if she stays with someone. But from what I was told, and my sources have been very, very reliable, from what I was told, he moved out to move with her and her people. So I'm not going to get into specifics because that's besides the point. The point is you're still not independent. What about that move made you more independent from leaving a woman who owns their own house to going to somebody's apartment? Huh? Now, let me be clear. When he was here, he had freedom to come and go as he pleased. No one had him locked up like he was, no slave or anything. And again, you had keys. You could come and go as you wanted to freely. So the fact that you would change your parole site, number one, when the reason you already got the sparing that you got at court is because of the fact that I was pregnant and you had a baby on the way. You took advantage of that. So you not only just used me, you used your daughter too in court. So if y'all remember previously, I don't remember what part it is, but previously in the messages, he tried to make me believe that he couldn't have parole and house arrest at the same place. Like I'm a dummy. No, you absolutely can. It's very much so possible. So not only did you forfeit your chance of being around your younger new baby, my child, you forfeited your chance of being around your oldest child too. Like make it make sense. All for what? For what? So for me, I look at this a couple of ways. There's no dignity, there's no morale, there's no decency in anything that neither one of them did. So I'm going to start with him specifically. I asked him not one time, not two times, but three times and gave you a hint, which I dropped that screenshot as well, stating that, are you cheating on me? I asked. You continue to lie. So that makes you a user if you were sitting here unhappy and still, here like you wanted to be this family man when you were so unhappy. Like, I don't understand why you stayed. You could have definitely said, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. And it didn't have to go like this. But then it's basically like you put this girl or this young lady, whoever, whatever she is to you, above your kids. Not just my kid, but your oldest child too. Like, how do you do that? Your child, neither one of them really deserves that. And all for what? Like, you still have nothing to show for it. You went out of town multiple times. You didn't come back with no money. You didn't come back with no car. You didn't come back a millionaire. You didn't come back with no brand deals, no job. Like nothing. You simply just went out of town to enjoy life with this young lady as if you don't have no responsibilities. I'm really not understanding. But as for her to, it's just for me looking at the whole situation. Where did you look at, if you love him so much and this is your man and this is the man that you want to be with? He has children. He has responsibility. At what point did you say, okay, no, you need to make sure that you're there for your children? Now, supposedly, and I quote, she did tell him to come back. My thing is, if you told him to come back, why would he still be at your house? Because for me, if I told somebody that they couldn't stay with me because of their situation prior to, that was just that. There is no, oh, I'm giving in and then you can come. But let's take it a step further. So this man decided he was going to use my debit card that was on his FanDuel account when we were together. Now, I didn't take it off because I don't even use FanDuel. And again, I didn't even think that's something you would do. The audacity to use my card is crazy. But the man goes on and makes a bet and says to my sister, like, hey, let her know that I used her card to make a bet on FanDuel for $10. Now, me, I don't give a fuck if it's $5, $10, $15, $20, $1. It's my dollar. You didn't have the dollars to use it. You didn't have the dollars to do it. So you shouldn't have been using my card. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you use somebody's stuff without their permission, I want to say that's called what? Y'all drop that in the comments for me because I'm just really trying to understand. But like I said, they're a unit. My man, my man, my man. So why aren't you able to provide your card for your man? Why is he using my card? I don't get it.
I just want to say maybe it's because he's a criminal, and I really hope he didn't go to jail for stealing because y'all not together. He got your card information.
She probably don't even know why he went to jail at this point.
I don't even think she looked.
Yeah, she don't even know to this point, probably. He probably went for stuff.
And a man is gonna go where it's easier. Like you on his back, literally.
Some men.
Some men. You saying he can come and go as he please, girl. You were just saying he can't go work supposedly. But what you failed to mention was about the eyelash and the perfume. Because I'm thinking, well, why didn't he just get a rental? Whole time you ain't even tell us that you found all that shit, and that's why you was riding so hard on why you not getting a rental and why he's not taking your truck. I'm thinking, I don't know why. But that explains exactly why he was going so hard on not helping him get down there. I'm like, damn, he can't help his mama? It's because you knew he was going down there, going somewhere with a female. Now it makes sense. I wish you would have said that then.
No comment.
Don't understand why he's using my card. But then furthermore, if that's your man, you're supposed to be nurturing him. You're supposed to be assisting him. You're supposed to be doing all of those things to ensure that he's on the straight and narrow. What happened? Did y'all miss the memo? I'm a little confused. Okay, so using the card was one thing. I'm not tripping over $10. He did Apple Pay the $10 to my sister. And I just told my sister, like, I don't want it. At the end of the day, I don't want it. I'm just over this whole thing. But let's keep going. So I have doctor's appointments that I schedule every week, y'all. The man has not came to not one. Since he's been messing with this girl, he came to one. The one where he was still trying to manipulate and keep both she and I. And let's be clear, it's not that he doesn't have the appointment times, dates, or locations. He has all of them. Now, let him tell it according to my sister or to my friend. I can't even remember which one he told this to. That he deleted the text thread so he no longer has it. Okay, whatever. It's kind of mind-boggling, though, that you deleted the text thread, but you're logged into my email. That's per you. So if you're logged into my email and you told that to my sister, why is it that you couldn't see the time, the date, and you know the location? Nothing has changed. I've been going to the same two doctors my whole entire pregnancy. So again, for me looking on the outside in as the woman, why wouldn't you encourage this man to go to the doctor's appointments for his child, his brand new child? Not that you should even be dealing with this man with a brand new child in the first place, but that's neither here nor there. The least you could have did was made sure he got to the appointments because the child is innocent. Now, it's a complete difference in coming to my house. You come to my house unannounced, I understand that. You know, that's a different type of situation. But coming to a public place, the doctor's office, the hospital, where you know this is where the appointments are, is crazy. So for you to keep using that as an excuse, no. Now let's take it a step further. Not only do you not come to the appointments, not only were you using my card and you moved out to go be with this lady, you then take it a step further to pillow talk to her about my business. What are we really doing here? Like, how old are we? Why is my business or anything that has to do with me coming up in your mouth as it pertains to her? And why is she able to repeat it verbatim or make a joke about it or do anything? Like, help me understand that. Now, let's be clear. I could have very much taken shots at her from the beginning because I know how their relationship started. I ain't gonna drop that, but I definitely will answer it during the Q&A because it's not your ideal situation. And again, no morals, no decency, no integrity, nothing. This is even more insane on how they ended up together because they both nasty. Now let him tell it. The first shot that I saw was not for me. Okay, fine. I'll give you a pass on that one. But the second one was very much so about me. Because, number one, I'm your baby mama. So who would be the BMBD post about? And number two, why was it made exactly after I got off the phone with him? I got off the phone with him. I said what I said. He said what he said. That was the end of that. And then my friend proceeded to call him. I wasn't even around my friend when she called him. I got around her after they were already on the phone. And who do I hear in the background? She don't care. We went looking at her stuff. She could say what she want to say. The shot was definitely for me. So at this point, I take it that you want me to know who you are. You want it to be seen. And basically, you want war. And again, I let a lot of stuff go. That's just the beginning of the shots. They kept going and going and going for 3 weeks. And let's just be clear. You shouldn't have said nothing. But he made you comfortable enough to feel like you could. Part 18 of Pregnant by a Man Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom. So let's keep this going. All right, so let's fast forward now to present day. At this point, he's been gone for maybe like the last 3-4 weeks. And I decided I was going to drop my series last Friday. So once I dropped my series on Friday, or no, maybe it was Thursday. I actually decided I was going to drop it on Thursday. So I dropped my series on Thursday. Maybe about 6 or 7 parts had came out. And then all of a sudden I showed y'all I was getting all of these no caller ID calls. And my thing is, you've been going around asking everybody, oh, how's Maya? How's the baby? How's Maya? How's the baby? But what have you done to actually see how Maya and the baby is? Nothing. All right, I had to switch rooms real quick because my ring light had died. Can't be doing that. However, nothing has been done on his end on any efforts to ensure that his daughter's stuff is okay, that her health is okay, that things that are needed to be put together, I put together. Y'all saw my videos prior to. I did all my nesting, everything put together for my baby on my own. I did not have any help from him. And then that's what's so baffling to me, that you could be watching my TikToks. You got so much time to watch my TikToks. You, her friends, her sisters, whoever, got so much time to troll on my stuff because now I'm telling my story on my platform and now it's a problem. What's the issue? So when I was the one crying and upset and in the dark and frustrated, it wasn't a problem for her to throw the shots that she was throwing at me on her platform. But now that I'm actually speaking up and telling the truth with receipts, now it's a problem. So I went live Friday, and let me just address the live. I don't know who it was jumping to her defense on the live, and I really don't care. At the end of the day, whatever he's pillow talking and was saying to them, they clearly felt comfortable enough to get on my live and discuss it or say it. Because not once have I ever called the police on this man. Not once. The other comment that really kind of struck a nerve was the whole, you're always calling his mom. No, not exactly. Because his mom was blocked. And my sister had reached out to everyone and had just told them to kind of leave me alone to get my own mental health and sanity in order. Because I'm not going to lie, y'all, I was kind of jacked up when this all first started. I didn't know which way to go. But as the lies kept coming out and things kept coming out, I just began to get more and more disgusted on how things was playing out. Like, why are you even so frustrated and upset? Like, look what was really going on. For real, for real. But I guess for me, I'm a little confused because as far as I know, family structure is the mother, the father, the grandparents. So even if I was reaching out to his mother, which is my child's grandmother, what would be the issue? Because she doesn't have an issue. So I'm confused as to why it was her business, her sister's business, her friend business, or hell, even his business, because again, I don't talk to him. So again, let's take it even a step further. Y'all saw the messages. Y'all saw the threats. It was going to be, oh, you're going to start airing out my family secrets. Don't know what that would be. But again, suit yourself. And then it turned into, oh, you were going to then sue me for defamation of character. So you can't spell defamation, which iPhones do have autocorrect if I'm not mistaken. So suing me for defamation of character is not possible. But suing me for defamation of character is still not possible because we went over those definitions and clearly none of this none of this is even in the ballpark for a lawsuit. But why you want to sue me? I guess that's why I'm confused at, and maybe somebody can help me out. You want to sue me for, again, using my platform to tell my story and then tell the truth. And because you and this young lady were exposed or told about, now you want to sue? Why? So let's keep going because it just doesn't stop. So now the week has started and he's texting my friend pretty much all day saying, you know, oh, I want to talk to her. I want to talk to her. And I'm at a place of, I don't want to talk to you. I don't have anything to say to you. You made your bed. You lay in it. You made your decision. There's really nothing to talk about. But when he's talking to her, he's still not telling all of the truth. He's telling some of the truth, but not all of the truth. And the one lie that really gets me, that kind of got me like, it was funny when he said it was, oh, I left those things in the car on purpose. No, you did not. Because number one, my son found the lash. And no woman tells you, oh, yeah, here you go. You can keep one lash and put it on the floor or put it right there. It was damn near under the seat. So how did you purposely leave this lady lash? So you mean to tell me this girl gave you one of her lashes and said, here you go. You can leave this in her car? Stop, man. Just stop. Or my personal favorite about the perfume. Y'all, when I went to look where it was in the armrest, when my cousin was explaining where it was at, it was under a bunch of his cologne. You didn't leave that on purpose, baby. That was literally sat there, and then you covered it up with your colognes so that it wouldn't be seen. You didn't leave that on purpose. And again, every time he's talking to my friend via text, telling her, I want to talk to her, I just want to tell her, where I was wrong, and, I did this and I did that. It was all on me. No, it wasn't all on you, because again, y'all saw the messages prior to. He very much admitted that she knew who I was. So no, it's both of y'all. She very much knew that was my truck. No, that was both of y'all. So why is it that you feel like now, after everything is out, that now you want to come to me and admit everything? I don't need you to admit anything now. I've been Sherlock Holmes for weeks. But then he just go a step further with the nonsense. He proceeds to say, oh, it wasn't just her. I was kicking it with other females. Whether you was kicking it with other females or not, I found out about her. The other females wasn't getting taken out of town. The other females wasn't supposedly in my truck, as I know. The other females' stuff wasn't left in my truck. So at the end of the day, what are we talking about here? Don't try to come admit now after I done been Inspector Gadget. I know what I want to know, and I know what I needed to know and who I needed to know about. And at the end of the day, this young lady, the one that you decided to make your main side chick, is the one I got an issue with. Everybody else you was kicking with, by all means, go kick it with them again. But that's where I have a problem, because the disrespect was directly at me. Every day I tell my mama I wish I'm waking up in a movie, in a dream, that some cameras gonna just come out and be like, you got punked, because this stuff is mind-boggling. So not only does this man try to admit it and halfway admit it, but now you trying to wave your white flag for what? It's a stop? Because I'm not gonna stop. Because like I told my friend and my sister, had I not got on TikTok and made this series, had I not outed the both of them, would you be admitting this? No, you would not. You would still be lying about everything. So no, I'm not going to stop. Y'all gonna deal with whatever comes with this. So y'all, I literally went out on Thursday with my friend. I know I was supposed to be on bed rest, man, y'all business. But I did go out with my friend, and I really had a good time. Like, I really had a good time. I ate some food, listened to some good music, saw some people that I know. It just felt good to get out and kind of have a breath of fresh air. Why did I get home and check my TikTok, and I got a message from this girl on TikTok? So I've never come to any woman as a woman, because number one, the problem has always been with the man. And I said that. The only reason I have a problem with this young lady is because you knew, and even had you handled things and been quiet, it probably wouldn't have gotten this far. But that's not what you chose to do. You chose to be loud and make yourself known. So the audacity of you to come to me and try to tell on the man now, after y'all was outed, where was all of this energy when you was making all of these posts? Where was all this energy when you were out of town with him? Because you surely wasn't thinking about me then. You wasn't trying to be grown then. So let's not even do the grown thing, because you will never be grown to me in this situation. What was the point? Was that to have me take the bait to call you, so then we could squash this and I can stop recording or stop dropping the videos? No, that's not gonna happen. So that is the current situation now. I said what I said, and I blocked her as well. Me and you don't have nothing to talk about, just like me and him don't have nothing to talk about. Part 19 of Pregnant by a Man, Living a Double Life. What's the word, birds? You already here with the boss mom, so let's wrap this shit up. So at this point, I get a lot of DMs and a lot of comments of like, what you gonna do? And, everybody has their opinions on how they gonna do things, how they gonna handle things, especially when it comes to their child, when it comes to their relationship, all of that good stuff. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm at a place of I just want peace. Mentally, I'm trying to continue to get myself to be in a okay place, not only with the situation, but just with my reality. At the end of the day, this little girl, she has nothing to do with anything. And so, as her mom, my main job is to protect her. Not only her, but I still have two sons that need that mental, protection as well. At this present moment, me myself, I just don't want to be bothered with anybody. I know that's her dad, and I know that he does love her. I do really, really think that he loves her, but I also think that he has some things that he has to deal with. And as for me, I don't want to be the person that has to sit on the sideline and be the person that's going to continue to take the backlash or be the punching bag while you figure it out. I just don't. And when I say punching bag, not physically, but mentally, emotionally, I don't want to keep taking those type of hits. Especially with a newborn baby. I just don't. I want my daughter to enjoy her years. I want her to know that she is loved. I want her to have the best of the best, and the only way that is going to happen is if I continue to keep on the straight and narrow like I am, and just say, you know what, this is what it is. Come to terms with it and know that yes, he does love her. I know that he knows that, but your actions don't show that. And when your actions are not showing that, I can't go off of maybe or what I think. I have to go off what's being presented to me. I'm a grown ass woman. I do not wish bad on him or her. I wish both of them the best. I hope that whatever God has for them, that they get it. But one thing I do know is karma waits on nobody. And at the end of the day, there's no ditching this karma. So however that may come up for either of them, that's kind of just how it goes. But as for me, I don't wish anything bad on them at all. I'm no longer angry. The hurt part is still there. That's going to always be there because, again, that's my daughter's father. We going to be honest and we human at the end of the day. Those feelings for a person don't just go away. But at that same time, you have to learn when enough is enough.
Whew, my goodness. Messy family, if you made it to the end of this story time, thank you. I almost didn't make it, if I'm being real with you. I done yawned, I done damn near fell asleep. But at the end of the day, if you made it to the end of this story time, I guess the best thing we can say is do background checks. Fuck all that shit you heard in the beginning. Fuck all that. Fuck all that little righteous shit. Do the background checks. Make sure these people, is who they say they are. And if they've been to prison for a stint amount of time, please don't expect them to come out into the real world and just automatically adapt into this new life with you when they ain't even had time to be free yet. Allow these people to at least be free and see what they're like. If you just can't help but be with somebody, then at least keep distance with them and don't allow them to move into your place until you know exactly who they are, especially if you have children. Especially if you have children. I mean, some of y'all could take the risk, but if you have children, be more mindful. Not saying she's a bad person. Everybody, love is a drug. We say this all the time, and it can be very blinding at times. You don't know who you're dealing with until you fall out of love with them. Then you start to see what everybody else was saying in the beginning, like, damn, we kind of already saw the hints, but you won't see those as you're in it. So I guess that's what she meant in the beginning. Instead of saying, like, you traumatize people, I ain't trying to hear that. What she should have been saying, honestly, is that, I was in love and I was blind and I didn't see none of that shit that y'all talking about. I was just so busy being in love with this man that I didn't even know. That's what she meant at the end of this. But at the end of the day, shit, this all can be avoided by just making sure we vet our people a little better. I know people, it's cliche to say, like, you gotta watch who you have kids with. But in a more in depth, if you think deep into it, it's really like getting to know people, not from what they say, but what they've been through and what they've done. You can judge people by their actions. You got to learn to see people for their actions, not judge them, but you know what I'm saying? See them for what they actually do, not just be what they saying, because you could say a lot of great things, but at the end of the day, who are you really? A man who don't take care of his kids, a man who don't know how to handle responsibility, a man who makes excuses for everything, So what does that tell you? Instead of saying, well, he could be different. No, this is who he is. Based off of what we seeing in text messages and what you're saying to us, he was never a man. He was a little boy looking for a place to stay, and you was a grown woman who was looking for a man to be in the household and take care of y'all. It was a transactional agreement. I need a man in the house. He needs stability. I just think y'all didn't have that. Maybe y'all should. I guess that wasn't a part of the 5 questions that you asked each other. You know, y'all should have made that a part of those 5 questions. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm dead ass because I didn't sat through 3 hours. I feel like I'm entitled to say whatever the fuck I want now.
I'm asking questions like a like
What
a
was the
damn
question?
test.
What's your favorite color? And do you want any kids? Like all the cliche shit. Did you ask him what he did in prison? How the fuck he got there? How many years you did? What happened to you in prison? Anybody else got anything on him? Like, I need to know, you know, but that's just me personally. I guess I'm just too traumatized for this damn world. But I'm happy I've been through what I've been through in life. You know, at the end of the day, it taught me a lot. It teaches you discernment when you go through shit. A lot of people know things based off of experience, not just off of what somebody taught you. That's why experience always trumps education. You can go to school longer than me, but I have more experience in what the fuck we're talking about and what we're doing. You know? So it's like I'ma always win that battle. Just say it in general when it comes to anything in life. Experiences will always beat education in a sense. Not saying you can't go to school, you shouldn't go to school, but it's just certain things, experience is gonna win it. And this is why we try to, you know, preach to people and tell people, not preach people, but, you know, express our, you know, that to people that, you know, in order to avoid these type of situations, then, you know, learn to have better discernment on the person you have. Don't be afraid to look in their past and then open up that Pandora's box at times, because you have to. You got kids. You don't got no choice, if I'm being honest. But that's just my take. I'm ready to wrap it up. I'm tired of shit.
I pray that she has a safe delivery, and I wish nothing
Right.
best for her and her children. Because stuff, you know, I just really hope that, you know, you continue to be a genuine person. It's sad that it's people out here in this world that will use that to their advantage. And, you know, I pray that you do find love again. Love, like you said, love is blinding. And people just aren't shit sometimes.
Yeah.
And you want to see the best in people. I get it 100%. I get it. But moving forward, I hope he does step up. I hope he does come around and be there for you guys and, you know, be that man that you thought he was. But, you know, if you guys ever been through something like this, let us know down below.
If you made it all the way to the end of the video, let us know. You know what I'm saying? I want to know. I'm going to look at the analytics in a couple of days, but I want to know. What are y'all thoughts on this? If y'all interested in following the storyteller, she has done more parts after the baby was born, and, you know, she's doing more updates on that. So if y'all want to follow her, we're going to leave that open for you guys to go follow. It's more of this story, I'm sure, going on her page. So if y'all want to follow her for more in-depth details, or maybe I got questions y'all want to ask her, you already know what to do. Check out the description box below and go straight to her TikTok account and ask her all the questions you have. But that is it. That is all. Do y'all like story times being this long? Let us know in the comment section. How long did it take you to finish this story? Did it take you the day? Did you finish it in one day, or did it take you a couple of days or a week? Let me know in the comment section, man, because I don't know if I'm just getting old or what, man. I am not the same Curtis from a year ago, man. I used to sit through these videos like nothing. Now, oh, jeez, you gotta get to the point faster, my friends. Damn, at least I'll sit through an hour, 4. Ah, shit. But peace out, y'all. I'm tired.